Come on, Annie. Let's go to the movies.
This is the Cinereelists, episode 721. My name is Kyle.
My name is James.
My name is Zach.
And we're here to talk movies, movie lists, and movie obsession for the next hour or so. James, I nailed it this time.
You did. Good job.
When Zach was gone last week, I totally flubbed up the intro. I was like, what do we say here?
Here.
Yeah.
For some reason, you missing threw everything off, Zach.
It just messed it all up.
It's the same thing he says every week, but
Well, it's because it's my name is James. My name is Zach. And we're here to talk. As I hear my name is James, I'm like, oh, wait, now I need to talk. And it's just, yeah.
Too much to handle. Too many balls
I really
to
need
juggle.
James to say, my name is James. My name is Zach. Edit that out, and then I can keep going.
Right.
So, yeah.
For sure.
I'm just like a trained rat. I need my
100%.
cues.
That's what I think of when I think about you. Trained rats.
Sorry I wasn't here last week, guys. I completely lost my voice
Yeah.
somehow. And it's mostly back. I would say I'm 80% back.
I think you sound great.
Thank you.
Dramatic pause.
You guys might still
Great.
have to do the bulk of the talking so that I don't
Sure.
die tonight. But yeah, appreciate
All right.
it.
If you just want to nod along, Zach, and sort of like, that's totally fine.
Yeah. I should have brought like two signature sounds and one like is I agree and one is I disagree.
You need like correct and womp
Yeah.
womp. And
Yeah.
just
Or like two paddles. If you're agreeing, hold the green paddle up. If you're disagreeing, hold the red
Yeah.
paddle up. Yeah.
can't it be one paddle that's different colors on either side?
Sure. If you want to be
Yeah, if you
efficient
want
about it.
carpal tunnel.
Do you guys, is carpal tunnel a real thing?
Of course.
Yes, 100%.
Okay.
Undoubtedly.
I don't know.
Well, I mean, you don't do like repetitive motions, so for you, it's probably not a problem. But
I don't.
I mean, like you're not doing like repetitive fine motions or anything like that.
Like clicking on a mouse all day or typing on a keyboard. That's not repetitive.
I would say more
For,
like
25
stirring
years?
or mixing or that kind of stuff.
I don't know.
Screwing caps on.
Let's stop talking about
James.
this because now that I'm doubting it, I'm definitely going to get it. So
100% you are.
I should probably not tempt fate by pretending like it's not real.
Welcome, guys.
Yeah. Welcome
Anyone
to
have a
episode-
check-in?
No, I just want James to deny science a little bit longer here. That'd be fun. I do have a check-in.
Okay.
Okay.
Hit us.
Yeah. So I mean, you guys know about this, but the listeners probably don't know. But I was in LA 2 weeks ago and got to immerse myself in Hollywood culture.
Yeah.
Nice.
And by that I mean Hollywood Boulevard, the hotbed of everything that's the movie making business.
How'd it go?
It was cool. So I was there a week before the Oscars happened.
Mm-hmm.
So we got to see them setting up for the Dolby Theater, which was pretty sweet.
I'm kind of surprised they were setting up like a full week before.
So it's a lot of awnings are involved.
Hmm.
And I think that's a big reason why is because they have to get like essentially that block of Hollywood Boulevard that goes right in front of the Dolby Theater, which by the way, I think I mentioned this last time. It's a mall. I didn't realize it's a mall. Like you can, there's a Dave and Buster's, there's like stores inside, not inside the Dolby Theater, but inside the same space as the theater. So
Mhm.
Great.
yeah. But yeah, like that whole block is blocked off because I think that's where like the limos arrive and that's where they do all the red carpet stuff is right on the street. So they have the awning set up. They have to set up all the lighting and the, all the curtains and everything. So I imagine it takes a good week to get it all done. It's probably the biggest event in LA. I mean, besides like an Olympics or something like that, but
Yeah. I don't
biggest
know. I
annual
mean,
event.
I think the Grammys are equally big,
Oh, good point. Yeah.
but I don't know do they do the Grammys in LA all the time? Like they do the Oscars all the time in LA?
I've never actually watched a Grammys award show before, so I can't tell you anything.
What? You've never
watched
watched
the Grammys?
I've never watched the Grammys before.
That's weird.
Should I?
Yeah.
I mean, Maybe. I don't know.
I've never cared about pop music, as in like what's popular, not the style of pop music.
Mhm.
So I don't know. For me, it's like I don't care about the artists who are ever up for Grammys. So I don't really have a reason to watch because doesn't matter.
I mean,
Sure.
it might be interesting in the same way that just awards shows are interesting, right? Like
Mhm.
you're interested in the Oscars not strictly because of the movies that are nominated, because you enjoy watching the Oscars.
But I watch it because I'm invested in the movies that are nominated.
That's kind of true.
Yeah, like if when Conan O'Brien's doing his weapons skit at the beginning, I'm like, oh, I get this. If they're doing a Beyonce medley at the beginning of the Grammys, I'll be like, oh, okay, these sound nice, but I won't get it. Or be like, oh, this is a Beyonce medley.
Sure. I mean, to be fair, I haven't watched the Grammys in probably 15 years, like from one end to the other. But there was a
Sure.
time where I watched it every year from one end to the other, and like not necessarily cared about the people who were winning awards, but cared to keep up, I guess, on
Mhm.
some level. But now everything's so fragmented. Like I don't even have like a baseline for most of the people. You know what I mean? Like I don't listen to the radio anymore, so how would I've never heard a Jack Harlow song. I've never heard there's a bunch of artists that I know their name just because I
Mhm.
hear people talk about them, but I couldn't tell you what
You have
song.
probably heard their songs just through
Sure.
other media, but you're not clocking, oh, that's Jack Harlow, that's Sabrina Carpenter.
Probably. Yeah.
I can't tell you a Sabrina Carpenter song.
No,
either.
is that
It's-
true?
Espresso, that's one, right?
Yeah.
I can tell you a name.
I've heard that
I
name.
can't sing if you said sing a Sabrina Carpenter song, I got nothing for you.
Really?
Got nothing. Yep.
That's interesting.
You can sing a Sabrina Carpenter song?
Yeah.
Zach? Prove it.
Prove it.
I'm not going to be singing a Sabrina Carpenter song. How about
Prove it to two
offline?
people who have no idea whether you can actually do it or not.
Offline, I'm happy to prove to you I can sing a Sabrina Carpenter song.
Okay. Can you name a second Sabrina Carpenter song?
I mean, if I racked my brain, I could probably think of 5 or 6 Sabrina Carpenter songs.
Okay. Interesting.
I mean, she's a very popular artist right now.
Oh, I don't doubt it. That's why I know her
I'm
name
sure
without
she is,
having
yeah.
heard her music.
Yeah.
For sure. She seems like fine person.
I don't know her personally. She seems small, just physically small. That's my impression of her as a person.
She's not a small person. She's a person that's small. That's what you're saying.
She's a physically small person. Yes.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Maybe she's big on the inside, but little on the outside.
I mean, aren't most pop stars people that are small?
think
Taylor
most-
Swift is 5'9", 5'10". Isn't she
I think
taller?
that's not the norm, though. I think most celebrities in general are just kind of tinier people.
Well, I mean, what do you mean by celebrity? Because that's a
Well-
very broad word.
I guess I've heard lots of anecdotes that like you meet a celebrity and you're like, oh, they're so much shorter than I would have thought.
I mean, yeah, I know for like movie stars, oftentimes they're literally placed on boxes to appear taller.
Right.
Mhm.
So I can imagine in that case, yes.
In my mind, celebrity, the bulk of celebrities are either musicians or actors. Like if you're talking about
that's what I think
celebrities are,
of.
Well,
those are the
what
two
ab-
biggest categories.
okay, what about like now we're in the world of reality TV and influencers?
Mhm.
Like a lot of reality TV celebrity editions are other reality stars. Are they?
Well, so I would say a couple things. One, I think the reality celebrity pool is pretty small because they cross pollinate a ton.
Oh yeah,
And,
and
you
get
know,
their
I doubt
shows
there's-
canceled. So
I doubt there's more than 300 reality stars that you would consider a celebrity.
okay,
And then same with influencers. Like there's lots of influencers that are famous, but I think the bar to cross from famous to celebrity, if you're an influencer, is pretty high. I doubt there's more than 100 influencers that you would consider a celebrity.
that like when they
Hmm.
show up somewhere, people swarm them and paparazzi and all that.
Yeah, and I don't know exactly how to define celebrity. Maybe it's something like the fame keeps them from being a public person,
Sure.
like normal. Maybe that's it. But I don't know. What'd you guys take?
I think
but-
they're short.
I think they're short. Are they shorter than the average person, or are they the same height as the average person?
think
Shorter than me.
average.
Shorter than me.
Well, yeah, but yeah, James, you're not average height though.
No,
Like,
I didn't say I was.
I'm
just
average
saying they're
height.
shorter than me. Everybody that's shorter than me is short.
James is top 3% in height.
Yeah, yeah.
Is that
James
true?
You're
Yeah.
tall, James. Yeah.
I know. Sometimes I don't realize how tall and kind of somewhat imposing that is. I don't see
wouldn't
myself
describe you
as that.
imposing.
Well,
You
we know
wouldn't.
James.
You're
we don't
also
see him as
not
imposing,
short.
But
I mean, you're short because you're shorter than me, but you're not conventionally short. So why would you be imposed by me?
I think if I did not know you,
Mm-hmm.
right, and you approach me like with a blank face, like if I was on the bus or something like that.
Would you
This
be
is
imposed?
a scenario that would never happen, but and then I
Sure.
saw you walk by, like, oh, that's a somewhat intimidating man right there.
There you go.
And part of it is
Zach?
the height.
What about Zach? Is he intimidating?
I don't feel that way about you at all, James.
No,
I know
I'm
you
not saying I
don't.
feel about this way person. I know James, so I don't feel about that way.
Sure,
at
even
all.
if I
I'm just
didn't
saying,
know
like,
you.
if I
Even if I
removed
didn't.
that from it,
Nope.
Um,
Not even then.
if Zach gets his angry face, then he can be intimidating.
Okay. Interesting.
I haven't seen the Zach angry face in a long time, but
I'm not sure I've ever seen a Zach
real
angry
mellow.
face.
yeah,
I think
got
I've
real
s-
mellow.
I think I've seen Zach angry before, but his face didn't look all that much different, to be honest.
Wait, is this a reference to weird directors?
Weird directors.
Yeah, Roland Emmerich.
Did I make you angry in that argument?
No, I made you angry.
No. I
You
was
were
not angry.
legitimately mad during that.
No.
I think you were.
Why would I be mad? I was right.
It's awesome.
I do want to add one more thing to my check-in because I did
Yes.
do something that was on my bucket list.
Yeah.
And that was I went to the Academy Museum in LA,
Yeah.
which that was super cool. So
They've been trying to build that for decades. So I'm very curious your impressions of it.
so it's, I mean, I would not say it's like one of the best museums I've ever been to, but from a like movie person side of things, I think if you like movies, it's a cool museum to go to.
Okay.
They had a whole exhibit on Jaws
Mhm.
where they kind of like it was pretty much a whole floor, and they sort of broke the movie down scene by scene, and you kind of just walk through these rooms, and they would have clips from the scene. They talk about like how they made that specific scene and everything involved, and it was really cool to see like the whole technical side of things and the whole creative process, and to see scenes of that. They had a whole room of sci-fi props.
Okay.
And that was I mean, that was cool because they had like, things from Avengers, they had suits from The Matrix, they had, spaceships from different sci-fi movies. And then in the corner was a spaceship from 2001: A Space Odyssey that like no one was paying attention to. And I was like, you guys, this whole room exists because of this one little ship over here. So,
Nice.
so yeah,
was it a good mix of old and new?
yes, definitely. Yeah. I would say it was leaning probably 2/3 new. Wait, are you
Okay.
talking about the sci-fi stuff or the museum in general?
Just in general.
Yeah, I would say the museum was overall leaning more towards like the last 30 years of film history.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So like from the 90s up?
Yes. Yep.
Interesting.
And then they had like obviously the sci-fi portion was a whole mix of things.
Mhm.
The Jaws exhibit was there. They had a kind of an underwhelming cyberpunk exhibit where it seemed like they just had extra space, and it was all about like cyberpunk in the movies, or not even cyberpunk, like dystopia lands in the movies, and it was like little screenshots of like Blade Runner and things like that, and that felt underthought, underbaked.
Sure.
So they did have a full Tron suit though, which was pretty cool, James.
Oh, that's awesome. Was
Yeah.
it
Was it
lit up?
It was not lit up. But sorry, this is a 1980 whatever Tron suit,
Gotcha.
which is, as you probably know, it's black and white.
Right. Because they would
Right.
light up the white parts, right?
They would like draw on the white parts. Yeah.
Right.
So yeah, so I would definitely say especially if you're into movies, it's worth checking out.
Was there
Is it
anything
worth a
Robin Hood
plane flight?
Wait, you guys talked at the same time. Zach first.
there? Was there anything Robin Hood there?
No. No. Not a lot of Disney representation in general. Besides like Marvel stuff. And then they did have a whole thing on Ponyo, the Miyazaki film.
Okay.
Which I guess is owned by Disney now, technically, but
Did they own Studio Ghibli?
I believe they own, because they first had distribution for Ghibli. I think they own Studio Ghibli now.
Who
Really?
does?
Disney. I'm pretty sure they own Studio Ghibli.
Own the entire studio or own the distribution rights in the United States?
They own the latter for sure. They own distribution rights in the US. I think they own the studio. I could
They
be
don't.
wrong.
You
They
are
don't.
wrong.
Okay.
Yeah.
But they have the distribution rights then, at least, don't they?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. All right. My apologies. I thought it was the other way around.
No, it's all
But yeah,
good.
I would say not a lot of Disney representation at the Academy Museum.
Two questions. One, is it worth a plane flight? And two, what's the coolest thing you saw while you were there that you did not expect to see at all? You were like,
Sure.
why is this here? Or whatever.
I would say LA is worth the plane flight. So yeah, I mean, there's so much to do in LA that if you fly out there, do that, and you could do a whole bunch of other cool stuff there in the city in general.
What if you're
Man,
bored with LA? You don't want to do anything else. Is it worth the plane flight?
I'm not sure.
Okay.
Are you bored with LA though?
I don't know.
Okay. Okay.
I mean, I used to live like an hour away from LA. So as a kid, I went there a bunch.
Yeah.
I visited 10 years ago and haven't felt a great pull to go back, really.
I mean,
but if this museum was awesome, maybe I would make a trip of it. I don't know.
I would say it's pretty cool. I don't know if awesome would be the word I'd use.
Okay.
I'd say pretty cool. Yeah.
So maybe if I happen to be out there for something else, then I go and not make
Exactly.
a special
Yeah.
trip out of it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. And then what was the most unexpected thing that I saw?
Unexpectedly cool.
Unexpectedly
saw.
cool thing. Oh, you know what? Actually, they had a room. It was almost like a sensory deprivation room
Mhm.
where you would like walk around this semicircle. So the room was almost pitch black, and then you get into this room with just a soft red light, and then they had like a couch there. And I think they were playing. I think it was like Ludwig Göransson music was playing. And like you could just sit in this almost pitch black room listening to like this kind of harmonious dissonant music. I know those are, antonyms. And it was kind of like nice, especially because LA is a busy city. It's hot. There's a lot going on. It was kind of cool to be in like this really quiet room and just
while the soundtrack to Sinners is playing in the background.
Yeah, no, I don't think it was. I can't think. It wasn't. It was not the soundtrack to Sinners. That's for sure. It was a little bit more low key than that.
Sure.
And yeah, like Megan was just like, leave me in here for a while. Okay, come find me when you're done.
Nice.
So yeah. So I think that was like, yeah, probably the coolest, the most unexpected thing was not a visual thing whatsoever, just like the whole auditory experience.
That's fun.
They did in that sci-fi section, they had a huge like wraparound screen that went like 180, and they were showing like sci-fi movie clips on there, and they'd be showing you like Close Encounters of the Third Kind, but it would be 3 different scenes all kind of wrapped around you with like the sound going off. Then they show you like parts of Contact, and it'd be kind of like the same scene. It'd be like Pensacola Beach, but you sort of 3 different parts of it all playing at once. So that kind of gave you like this surround experience of watching a movie.
That's cool.
Yeah, it was pretty cool.
Interesting. Fun.
Yeah.
How
And
much?
so that's what I was impressed with LA in general is museums are cheap.
Really?
Because I think a lot of them have like endowments. So the Academy Museum was like maybe $20-25. Galen was free. We were walking around downtown LA and we walked by the Museum of Contemporary Arts, and there was a guy outside. He's like, "Hey, by the way, this museum's free if you guys want to come in." We're like, "Okay, why not?" So like we just, and then they had like Basquiat and Jeff Koons, all these really cool like pieces of artwork inside that completely free museum. So, And we were looking at other, like, we didn't go to every museum, but we looked at prices for all of them. I would say not a single museum we saw was more than like $20-25. And a lot of times it was free for kids or super cheap for kids.
Nice. So you would send him in and go get some coffee?
100%. Yeah. Yeah. Hey, go check this out. So
Perfect.
Yep.
Nice. Sounds fun. I hope to experience it someday.
What you should do, James, which we did not get a chance to do because it was sold out, is they have a theater in the Academy Museum. And we were there when they were showing the Academy animated shorts. Sorry, the Oscar nominated shorts.
Sure.
But it was sold out, so we didn't get that. Would have been cool to see those.
Is it like a really nice, huge theater or just like average theater?
No clue. You gotta tell me.
You didn't go in.
No, because it was close. It was sold out. It was like it's in a different part of the museum.
Same old tired excuses you've been using this whole paragraph.
yeah, exactly. I just told about how hard it was to get any access to anything in LA.
Yeah.
It's so difficult.
Nice. Well, I'm jealous, man. I would go to LA at the drop of the hat anytime.
Oh, you should. You've been before, right, Zach?
Yeah,
of course. Yeah.
love LA.
Go back.
I want to.
Okay, Cheech Marin.
I wish we were in LA right now. Did they release another movie?
Who?
Cheech and Chong?
Yeah.
I think they did.
Really?
Pass me
Recently?
Because I think relatively recently they did.
Like what year?
I mean,
like within the last 5 years, maybe.
Cheech and Chong's last movie, 2024.
Yeah.
What is it called? I really want to know.
It's literally
Cheech and
called
Chong's last movie.
Oh, it's called Cheech and Chong's last movie. Okay.
Yeah.
What is
However,
the IMDb rating of it?
However, it's a documentary.
Oh, okay. When's the last time they made like a narrative?
I'm not going to answer that.
It's been a while.
That has nothing to do with me.
All right. Well, welcome to episode 721, everybody. We appreciate you being here and hanging out with us. We're going to talk some sci-fi, starting with a new release movie, Project Hail Mary, and then we're going to run down a related list. Before we jump into all that fun, we need to remind you there's a video version of this podcast on YouTube. Go check it out there. Subscribe and watch while you listen. You could also support us on Patreon, patreon.com/Cinereelists. Support the podcast, get extra after show audio as well as other Cinerealist swag. You could leave us an Apple podcast review. We'd appreciate that. 5 stars only, or send us an email to heyguys@cinereelists.com, REEL with an S on the end. Send a comment, a question, a list suggestion, a movie suggestion, any of those kinds of things, and we will most likely discuss it on a future episode. Links are in the description to do any and all of those things. Are you guys ready to jump in to Project Hail Mary?
Yeah.
Let's do this.
Let's do it. We're going to talk all about it right after this clip.
Hi, Grace.
You're in a ball.
So Rocky, no Diane, Grace atmosphere. I come up.
Oh, you're coming up.
Foreign body detected.
Grace and Rocky, big science. How to kill astrophage together. I keep going this way? This room boring.
Rocky!
Science, save Earth, save Earth. Good plan. What this down here question? Amazing. Rocky, what is the human technology? Dirty. Why room so messy?
Well,
question?
I wasn't expecting company, was I?
That was Project Hail Mary, a 2026 American science fiction adventure film produced and directed by Phil Lord and Christopher Miller and written by Drew Goddard. This movie stars Ryan Gosling, Sandra Hüller, James Ortiz, and Lionel Boyce, amongst others. The official IMDb plot synopsis for Project Hail Mary is: science teacher Ryland Grace wakes up alone on a spaceship light years from Earth. As his memory returns, he uncovers a mission to stop a mysterious substance killing the sun and save Earth. An unexpected friendship may be the key. That's a pretty good plot description.
That's pretty good. Yeah.
Yeah.
It gives you the setup. It gives you the first third of the story.
What was it with you, Kyle, where it was just me and you, and the plot description was like, it's a movie. Like there was almost nothing to it.
Wasn't that the sentimental value plot description?
Yeah.
Wasn't it was
Zach.
like familiar discord hurts a family or something like that?
Zach, this is the plot description for sentimental value. An intimate exploration of family memories and the reconciliatory power of art.
That's exactly.
Sounds like a movie I'm never watching. Never, ever.
It kind of fits sentimental value, though.
Oh,
I mean,
it does.
It's like vaguely what the subject touches on, but it tells you nothing about the plot.
No,
like
but
literally
it's similar,
nothing.
But it's similar to the plot in that, like, it's the same vibe as that actual movie. Like, that as a plot description is the same vibe as the movie.
It doesn't mention a father, 2 daughters, a dead mom, a movie being directed. Like it says nothing about what's
right.
actually
But the
in
movie itself is also not a movie that cares way too much about plot, and like keeping it punchy.
I mean, I guess. So you think they're trying to filter out the plot maniacs? The people that care about plots, they don't want people to watch sentimental value.
No, I just think that plot description has the same sensibility that the movie has.
I don't know. The plot's very important to me. If it didn't have that movie making plot behind it, I'm out. I'm never watching that movie.
I had no idea the plot of sentimental value going into it. I knew like faces that were in it.
And if you removed that element of it, would it be a better movie or a worse movie?
That plot description?
No, the element of the movie making that's in the movie.
Oh, I mean, I guess plot descriptions are about trying to get people interested to see the movie.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And in this case, whoever wrote that plot descriptions, like it doesn't really matter what it's about on the surface. They're talking about like what's it about under the surface. What are the themes? It's a thematic plot description because it's not a very plot heavy movie. There is plot to it, but
I mean, there's just no mention of anything that's physically in the movie.
I totally agree. I'm just saying, I have a sense the director of that movie, if they could have someone walk away with like, okay, I want them to have a really good understanding of the story, or I want them to have a really good understanding of how art has the power to reconcile, blah, blah, blah. I bet it's the second one.
All that language can be in a plot description. It just can't be the only thing in a plot description, in my opinion, if you're doing your job well.
Right. I'm not saying it's a good plot description. I'm just saying it fits the sensibility of the film itself.
It's an apt plot description, we could say.
I don't like it. Anyway, Project Hail Mary.
Yeah, what's the plot of Project Hail Mary again?
Like,
for instance, read it again?
Like if you watched like Pootie Tang, right?
Yeah.
If the plot description for Pootie Tang was ridiculous and had nothing to do with the plot of Pootie Tang, I would similarly think that was an appropriate plot description for Pootie Tang. You know what I mean? Like it could be about nothing and be half gibberish, and it still would fit the sensibility of that movie.
Like if the plot description was Sepatine the Capitan, what a day. You'd be like, of course.
Totally.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Right. Because in that movie, the lead character talks gibberish.
Yeah, so it fits. That's what Zach's saying.
But it still tells you nothing about the plot.
And it's also not going to sell anybody on the movie.
Agreed.
That's what plot descriptions.
I don't know. I think I might be sold if I just saw a bunch of gibberish words. Be like, what is this?
Yeah. What percentage of people that discover sentimental value through IMDb are just watching it because it got nominated for Best Picture? You know what I mean?
Most.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, I would hope that they would hope for a bigger audience than that.
I think
if not, I don't know what they're doing.
If you're gonna watch sentimental value, I don't think you happen across that movie. You're not just like scan through IMDb. I mean, it's because it got nominated for awards. It has not a well-known cast, a prestigious cast. It has.
Do you think when it got nominated, they changed the plot description to be incredibly vague?
I think it's always been incredibly.
They just
vague.
always expected to be in the nominated for Best Picture.
I mean, it's we talked about this. It is a quote unquote prestige film. It's a bit Oscar baity. It is Oscar baity. It's a low key European drama that, it's exactly.
Did you see the genres?
No.
It is 4 genres: drama, showbiz drama, psychological drama, and Norwegian.
Norwegian is a genre. I'd say it's fair.
Psychological drama?
Yeah, about
I don't know.
the trauma you carry with you.
I guess.
It's like psychological drama.
Would you say Project Hail Mary is a psychological drama?
A little bit.
A little bit. What are the
Sure.
what are the plot genres for Hail Mary?
Oh, are you ready for this?
I'm ready for this.
Okay, well, stay ready because I'm almost there.
I'm already seated.
I'm glad you're seated down.
Sitting down.
Sci-fi epic, check.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Space sci-fi, check.
Yep.
Drama, I think, check. Sci-fi and thriller. It has no comedy.
I would say this movie is rather comedic.
This to the like leans on the goofy comedic a little bit.
Yeah. I was laughing throughout a good chunk of this movie. Maybe not Pootie Tang laughing, but like laughing at the situations that
I
were
was
happening. in this movie.
charmed laughing, not like laughing out loud in any
I might let out a couple guffaws here and there.
here and there, sure, but it's more like charming, funny moments than like straight up jokes.
Right.
I would say.
And it is fair to say that most of the charming, funny moments don't happen until another character is introduced into the movie.
Yeah. All right. It feels like we're so far away from when I read that plot description. Does somebody want to just give a spoiler-free setup for this for the people?
Yeah. Yes, definitely. So this movie is about a man who wakes up in space in a spaceship. He's not exactly sure why. Throughout the movie, he's kind of piecing together why he's out there. And that's mostly told through flashback as he has these memories of, why he's out there. I guess we could say, because you already said the plot description, he's out there because the sun is dying and he needs to figure out how to stop the sun from dying.
Mm-hmm.
And he arrives at his destination, and he's not the only one there.
Nice.
And then from there, he's sort of figuring out what to do next. And I think it's fair to say this is written by the same guy who wrote The Martian. So it's similar in the, let's maroon a person, a very smart and capable person by themselves and have them work the problem throughout the movie.
I would say that's very fair to say.
Yeah.
Also, another thing that's fair to say is that we will be doing this review in 2 parts. Right now, you're in the spoiler-free section. At some point, we're going to switch to spoilers, but we will give you a heads up when that happens. What'd you guys think of Project Hail Mary?
So I was very excited for this movie to come out. I have read The Martian, and I was texting with Zach, years ago, and saying, "Oh, I really like The Martian." Zach's like, "Have you read his other book?" I'm like, "No, I didn't know it was another book." He said, "Read Project Hail Mary," and I read that. Love the book. It's a great book, very well written and very interesting. So I was very excited to see this movie when it came out because I was like, I'm a fan of the book. I'm a fan of The Martian, both the book and the movie. So let's see if this also does justice. When I heard there was Lord and Miller who were attached to it, that was also a big thumbs up right there. That was a good sign because I've been impressed with it done overall. And this movie I found amazing. It completely worked for me. And I think the biggest reason it worked for me is even though I've read the book and even though I knew what was happening, I knew the emotional beats, I knew where the story was going, I was still affected by it the entire time. I was still laughing at the funny parts. There are some more heart-wrenching moments to the movie that were getting to me, and I was just completely enthralled by this movie the entire time. At no point was I bored with the movie. At no point was I annoyed about, obviously it's not exactly the same as the book, but that's fair and that's okay. And it's an adaptation. At no point was I annoyed, like, oh, they didn't do this part or they changed that or whatever. Yeah. And the movie, it looks great. There are some, it mostly takes place inside a spaceship, but you get a couple like out, exterior space shots that some of them looked new to me. Like I've never seen, especially when they're on like orbiting a certain planet. I've never seen that in a movie before whatsoever. I thought that was really cool. And yeah, when the movie was done, I was like, this was incredible. And I was so happy that this movie got made and was as well adapted as it was.
Nice. That's fun to have that
Yeah.
experience.
Yeah, it was great. Oh no.
I love that. I liked the movie. I didn't love it, but I did like
Really?
it. Yeah. I didn't love it, but I did like it. I also read the book. Don't remember the book super well. Like I just remembered the main details and the vibe
Yeah.
of the book. So the movie pretty much hit that for me. I think Ryan Gosling is a star. I think he's so charismatic and likable and just I like him as a lead in a movie. I think he's really fun to watch. He's very charming. I like the supporting cast. You know, the head of the world. What's her name?
Strat, Sandra Hüller.
Yeah.
Yes.
I liked her character because it's
Mhm.
pretty specific. You know what I mean? Like it didn't try to like it left her as a very like monotone kind of straight German kind of person rather than try to have her just be everything, you know, all at once. And I liked Carl. I liked a lot of the main, you know, the casting, that kind of thing. The humor, the book is very funny. And in this one, there's a lot of joking around, which to me was more tonal rather than like gags. Like there's a lot, it was kind of a jokey tone a lot of times.
Mhm.
And a lot of it did fall flatter for me than I wanted it to. Um, I mean, I appreciate the tone, the touch. I'm happy with. Like, I would much rather this than something that was just bleak. So, like, I'm not going to complain about it, right? It didn't capture me. But maybe the best example of what I'm talking about is him and Carl. He asked Carl, like, "Hey, what's my budget?" And Carl's like, "You don't have a budget, but I do." So they go to Home Depot and they start spending money. And then they're like bowling in the aisles and like playing, you know, doing basketball in the shopping cart. And I didn't totally believe that Carl is doing this. Cause like, I don't know, both of them have shopped before. So it's not like that novel to like go shopping with a shopping cart, but it's kind of like it was a little bit like the kind of humor that might be in Big, where you're like a kid and you've never done adult things. And so now adult things are like you're treating it with a kid's mentality kind of thing. Anyway,
Mhm.
it's just that's the kind of humor that the movie comes back to, which I didn't totally find that funny, but I appreciated it rather than like a bleak version of the story, which I would like way less. So it was kind of like the vaccine that provided the immunity from something I would like far worse. You know what I mean? Um, and then you know his main buddy when he's in space. Uh, I I don't know if I fell in love with him. I didn't fall in love with him. He
Really?
was so jokey. It was kind of like Pee Wee Herman in Flight of the Navigator, you know? It's like so broad comically and
Mhm.
and then his styling is like, you know, I don't know, it's just a little bit too not real feeling to me that um he just
Me-
didn't he felt more like a caricature to me than like a real character.
Do you mean the physical look?
Yeah, the physical look.
Okay. All right.
Is the
Yeah,
physical look
I
pretty close to
Yeah.
what was described in the book?
I would say so, yes.
Okay.
I mean,
Yeah,
the book is you kind of it's a hard thing to describe. So the book does its best, and you have your own kind of like mind's eye of what this thing looks like.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. In my mind, that wasn't totally what it looked like, but I was fine with it.
Okay.
Yeah. So I don't know. So like these all sound, you know, like complaints or whatever, but in general, I appreciate the movie. I enjoyed the movie. I was with it. I like how it delivered its, you know, plot elements, you know. Yeah,
Hmm.
it leaned a lot on flashback. Um, maybe more than I would have liked. But yeah, I don't know. I sound negative, but overall, I definitely enjoyed the movie.
Just for like a baseline, how'd you feel about The Martian in comparison to the Martian book? Do you feel like
So
that
I
was like-
really enjoyed The Martian.
Mhm.
And I think the reason was there wasn't a central relationship, like friendship at the middle of it. There's just one person. So it lives or dies by like, do you like Watney? You know? And
Sure.
I did. And so with this friendship, I liked their friendship. But yeah, his buddy up in space was a little of a goofball. He was kind of a goofball.
Mhm.
And it was maybe just this disjointedness of like the seriousness of what they're doing and just the kind of like broad goofiness of the buddy in the packaging that he was packaged with was just a little bit kept me at arm's distance, I would say. Whereas The Martian didn't. The Martian I was totally on board with.
The big difference I felt between this and The Martian, and I'm talking like the movie adaptation, not the book, is I think the Martian movie gives you more of the science of like what Mark Watney is doing. And that's because I think the science is more relatable because it's botany and it's how do I create air. So like The Martian gives you a little bit more of the problem solving in the weeds without getting like the book goes into the weeds and it's fine. The movie doesn't do that. This movie was definitely a little lighter on the science. So I think they leaned in more to the relationship because the science is like molecular biology and astrophysics. And it's harder stuff, I think, for just the normal audience to grasp. So like they would show, Ryland like doing these calculations on a whiteboard and then he'd circle the answer to like give you, oh, well, this is why it's important. And I think instead of spending all that time with him, like figuring the problems out, they're like, okay, let's lean into the relationship side of this movie because we're going to bore the audience if we go into like calculating the distance between two moving objects in space and when they're going to meet.
One other thing I want to say is I was surprised at how much this movie leaned into an artful aesthetic.
Okay.
And I really enjoyed that. I mean, it didn't have to at all try to be so visually interesting and beautiful. It reminded me of what's that James Bond movie that like Skydance or whatever.
Skyfall.
Skyfall. You know how that movie was like for some reason just cinematically beautiful?
Yeah.
Like in a way that no James Bond had been before. This one reminded me of that. And I was like, cool, great. That's awesome.
There's a moment in this movie where Ryan Gosling is outside the spaceship and he's in like this purple atmosphere and there's just like lights blinking around him, which seem to be supposed to be like particles. And I was watching that thinking like, I think this is all practical. Like, I think they're just, put a purple filter on there and had like blinking lights moving past him.
Yeah, they might have. I don't know.
It looked right, but it did look so artful and so simple.
Yeah. Christopher Nolan said that there were no CG effects in this movie at all.
yeah. This movie was
awesome.
100%.
Yeah,
practical effects. Yeah,
totally.
It was just filmed on film and unprocessed. It was awesome.
Yeah.
James, what did you
didn't
think?
even mix the audio? Just everything they caught on the day.
Just
Yeah.
whatever they got that day. Yeah.
Yep.
No second takes. Just
It was all
right
filmed
into
in
the next.
one studio lot in the middle of Arkansas. It was awesome.
You guys know Lord and Miller. They're one take. We got it.
They're one take.
Absolutely.
Guys, yes.
Put it in the can, rack it, whatever they do. Close the shutter.
100%. I enjoyed it as somebody who didn't read the book, had no context for it, didn't even really like. I remember trailers playing, but I was trying not to pay attention to them, so I didn't like really watch a trailer or try to find out what it was about. But I knew, Ryan Gosling in space, some kind of survival movie, something like that. And I the reason why I did that was because of The Martian. I really loved The Martian. I thought the storyline for The Martian was great. I thought the casting of what's his name, Matt Damon, was great, and it just felt like a movie that we had all seen before, but like done as well as it could be. You know what I mean? The guy stranded on a planet movie. It was enjoyable to watch from an action perspective, from a science perspective, and a comedy perspective. So that's what I was hoping from Project Hail Mary, is more of that. Now there's a different director this time, but the writers,
It's the same.
did he
adapter.
write? So Drew Goddard adapted The Martian?
Martian and this movie, correct? Yeah.
Okay. So other than the director, the team's back together essentially,
Right.
on some level. If by the team I mean the writers, that's about it. And so I think probably the source material is great, and that's why I got a movie that I didn't like as much as I liked The Martian, but I still enjoyed it quite a bit. I was laughing throughout. I was very engaged with what was going on, despite the fact that, similar to other somewhat recent sci-fi movies, you're spending a lot of time talking, I would say, in this movie. There's a little bit of action towards the end, but the visuals themselves too, despite being CG, a lot of them were inspired, I would say. Not your typical like, oh, we're just gonna make Saturn again. They like made their own version of Saturn. They made their own version of spaceships. And it all felt very realistic and appropriate. Even if like one of the spaceships, when it comes on screen, I was like, I don't know about this. But then over the course of the movie, in fact, pretty fast, they justified the look and feel. And I thought that was good. It gave me, I know it's not 2001, but it like, if you had told me they had filmed models, I'd believe it. It looked really good.
Yeah. The models look great. Agreed.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah. Since we brought up The Martian, I was actually disappointed that The Martian's its big final sequence when he's like trying to jettison between his pod to the spaceship felt something like straight out of Gravity, where I was like, oh, I'd seen this 2 years ago. Like whereas this movie I thought just felt so much more original, where it didn't feel like it was cribbing from anything. Obviously, it was inspired by other sci-fi, but
yeah, I don't know. So you think, didn't Andy Weir write The Martian before Gravity was released?
Yeah, but the ending of The Martian the movie is different than the ending of Martian the book.
Gotcha.
In the book, he just kind of passes out and then wakes up on the spaceship,
as opposed to like leaving the pod in order to like launch himself into the saving spaceship,
which is obviously a way more interesting visual ending, than just having him pass out and wake up here.
Yeah.
But
I mean,
it did
the
feel
end
very,
result's the same, but
yeah, right.
Yeah.
But it felt very Gravity of like they're doing this winding through space and the dance, and Gravity just come out like 2 years before that.
Yeah, they wanted one final heroic moment or
exactly.
whatever.
Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah. So yeah, overall, I enjoyed it. I think to Zach's criticism of the side character, the secondary character, it never really bothered me just because there's a language barrier going on here. And so I think there's probably more to that character than meets the eye. Like I wonder what it's sounding like on the other side. If Ryan Gosling's character sounds like he doesn't know how to speak, his own language as well. I don't know.
They did choose, because it's a synthetic voice for the other character. It did feel a little goofy, the voice choice. If I had I was fine with the humor, the charm. The voice reminded me a little bit. I don't know if you guys ever saw the Mitchells versus the Machines, which is Phil. Yeah, it's a Lord Miller.
We talked about it on the show.
Oh, we did. Okay, yeah, production. If you remember, in that one, there are robots that get reprogrammed.
Yeah,
and they're voiced by like Andy Samberg or someone else, and they kind of talk like, "We're your friend now." And
yeah,
I got a little bit of that sensibility from the voice they chose, the voice performance.
I think the voice was probably most of it. I didn't mind the bad grammar. I liked the bad grammar. That added to the charm. But the voice was a little bit, earnest.
They kind of missed an opportunity here to get like some celebrity to voice them, and then just have Ryan Gosling like running through celebrity voices, and then they just pick a celebrity to voice.
Which he kind of did anyway with like Meryl Streep and trying them all out. So they had a gag out of it, but they didn't actually get a chance to. They could have like leaned into it exactly.
Sure.
Who did the voice?
I don't know.
The puppeteer did. It's James Ortiz.
Okay.
He's not a he doesn't have many credits at all. So I will say that we keep saying The Friend. The puppet work was pretty amazing. Obviously, it's CG at times, but I think it was a lot of it was puppet work also.
I assumed it was all CG.
I think you are. I bet you it's more puppetry than you think.
If it is, that's great because I
Yeah.
could not tell. Could not tell.
That's good puppetry right there.
Isn't that bad puppetry if you think it's all CG?
No, I would say that's good puppetry. If you're like, if you can't tell the difference between the CG and the puppet, that means they both look this equally realistic or equally fake. I guess it depends.
Match them.
I would say if you thought that the character was bad CG, then there was also bad puppetry because it was probably more than you think. If you thought the character was good CG, then it was also good puppetry because again, it was more than you think it was.
I thought the puppetry and the CG looked really good.
Yeah. So yeah, I would say if it looks seamless to you, then you couldn't tell when it was a puppet and when it was CG, then that's good puppetry right there.
Agreed. Anything else to say about Project Hail Mary before we get into spoilers here?
Yeah, I mean, I want to stress that I
Okay.
love that this kind of movie gets made and gets watched, right? So I want many, many more of movies that have this type of like energy to it. Like, we're gonna do a list about our top 10 feel good sci-fi movies. And when I think of what makes a feel good sci-fi movie, of which this one definitely fits in that genre, is there's this sense of like triumphantness or like hope, like there's a comfort in like knowing like, okay, it's gonna be okay in the end. And this movie certainly has that. Like it doesn't shy away from like hard, sad things, and most feel good sci-fi movies, I feel like also don't do that. But it's where it lands that makes a big difference. And this movie, lands in a very hopeful, triumphant kind of space. And I love that because I feel like the default in Hollywood for the past 20 years has been bleak. Let's land in something a little bit hopeless or at the best, let's land somewhere mixed or torn between, it's a little bit of both, it's good mixed with the bad and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
So it's fun to see a movie that's just unapologetic about it.
Gravity, right, has been mentioned. Gravity is a movie that while like the last frames of the movie are maybe a positive, the journey itself is sad.
Pretty dire.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's less about it's a disaster, people getting back from a disaster as opposed to trying to find something that saves the world. And that's kind of what this movie's about. And well, maybe The Martian is still a feel-good movie, but that one's just about getting a guy back from
But
Mars.
that's the feel good right here. It's like he's being rescued from impossible odds.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, I mean, we can talk about this more when we get to our list, but I don't think feel good has to be earth saving to be feel good.
True. 100% true.
For sure.
All right. Let's letterbox Project Hail Mary for the people who don't want to hear spoilers. What are you guys going to give the movie out of 5 stars?
I'm going full on 5 stars on this one.
Nice. I think it's great. That's wonderful. For me, 3.5.
I went 4 stars, but if it charms me as much the second time as it did the first, it's a 4.5 long term. But for right now, it's a 4. All right, a 3.5, a 4, and a 5 for Project Hail Mary. We are entering the spoiler section of this discussion. So if you haven't seen the movie and you want to stay spoiler free, you should pause it and come back, or maybe fast forward to our list. And then come back after you've seen the movie. If you have seen the movie or you don't care about spoilers, then listen on, because we're about to talk about whatever we want in regards to Project Hail Mary. Not that anybody couldn't have guessed this, but it's an alien that he meets in space.
Yeah.
A little rock tarantula.
Yeah, Rocky.
Yeah. For the people who are haven't seen the movie or it's been a while, what's the actual plot of this movie?
So there is this mystery organism that's eating the sun, essentially.
It's like a tiny bacteria that feeds off of light.
Exactly.
Mhm.
Yep. And the sun is dimming, and it will die. I don't know. In 30 years, it'll be catastrophic for the planet because the sun is the giver of life on our planet. Food, heat, everything. So
And it's happening to every star in the galaxy, pretty much.
right, every other star in the galaxy is having this issue, except there's one star that they've realized does not have this bacteria. So the world governments, and that's probably the least believable part, is that the world's able to organize to solve this problem. The world governments have this, they make Project Hail Mary. And the idea is they're going to send 3 astronauts off to this star to figure out why. Why is this star not affected? They don't even know why. That's why it's a Hail Mary, right? This is our only shot. Let's go for it. And Ryan Gosling is one of those astronauts. When he awakes, the other 2 are dead. They did not survive the trip. I don't want to spend this whole section being like, well, in the book they did this, but I do feel like they didn't really explain why they died in space. And it has to do with the fact that like the coma process is incredibly dangerous. You have to have a certain like gene sequence to even be able to survive it. And even people with that gene sequence have a X% chance of dying anyway. So I know in the movie he just finds them dead, but like there is a reason they died.
I understood there was a reason. I
Yeah.
just didn't need that reason at all for the purposes of the film at large.
Well, I do think that reason plays an important role, though, in the twist at the end, where you find out why he's in space in the first place.
Because they drugged him and
But-
put him on a ship. Is that what
But
you mean?
they also knew that he had the correct gene sequence to possibly survive the trip.
Does that mean that they knew the other people didn't and they sent them to their death?
No. It's just
No.
another reason why he was the right person to go.
Yeah,
I
well,
mean,
it's
another reason that you didn't really need. He was
I know.
already the right person to go.
that's true. I
In the movie, they blew up every other scientist, right?
yeah, which happens in the book too. It is a catastrophic event that kills the one guy and his alternate. So
Right. In this one, they
Yeah.
just killed every other scientist.
yeah, the
Like,
British kill all the scientists just
Yeah.
to say,
Yeah.
you have to go.
and I love that he said no and ran away, and like they forced him to. Like I think that is an awesome choice.
Especially because throughout the whole movie, Rocky the alien is like saying, "Oh, you're brave. You're the brave one. You're so
Yeah.
brave for being out here." And you realize he's not brave. He's a coward, or not a coward, but he did not see some higher purpose. He's like, "No, this isn't for me. I'm not doing this."
Which meant that it gave him a great arc. I mean, because
Yeah.
one of the messages of the movie is that bravery is not how you feel, it's what you do. And so, like, even though he was scared for the majority of the time and also didn't want to be there or be responsible, he still did the things that mattered.
Right.
Yeah, well, like once he was up there and once he kind of regained his memory after the coma, I think he knew that he wasn't there by choice. But then over the course, he wasn't willing to sacrifice for like everybody on the planet. But once he was up there and he knew Rocky and they spent a bunch of time together, he was fine sacrificing to go save him. And so I thought that was like interesting character progression.
Right.
That he was definitely cowardly in the beginning, but by the end, he was brave.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Excellent observation. Yeah.
What
I mean,
else?
so like, what did you guys think of Rocky? I guess we talked a little bit about his portrayal in the non-spoiler section.
I liked Rocky. It reminded me of like that tablet in Interstellar, where it's kind of somewhat an object that should be inanimate, and yet it has some weird personality without eyes or nose or mouth or anything.
Right.
That is more kind of what I pictured Rocky as, to be honest, than just like a spider looking thing.
You mean in your brain after reading the
Yeah.
book?
Yeah.
You picture
I see.
like a tab, like you mean like one of those? Are you talking about those giant walker things in Interstellar?
Yeah, he like on the water world, he like all of a
Yeah.
sudden like started spinning and moving real fast. That's kind of how more I pictured it in my head.
Okay.
Yeah, for people who haven't seen the movie, he's kind of like a dog, like a medium-sized dog that's made of rock.
I think he's
Yeah.
a tarantula. He looks like a big spider made out of rock.
He does kind of look
But
like
he-
yeah.
But he only has like 5 feet though.
He's got
True.
5 limbs, but they're all equally distributed around like his circular
Sure.
body. Yeah.
He's definitely spider-like. I'm
Yeah, for
not
sure.
gonna argue that.
I mean,
for sure.
James, you're right. He doesn't have the same number of legs as a spider, but I would submit also not the same number as a dog.
That's true. This is true. This is
And
true.
actually, I don't
But
think any creature on
spiders-
Earth has 5 limbs. So
Also, spiders are not as big as dogs, like a medium-sized dog. So
not in this
one
context.
more for the dog.
And yeah, and he doesn't have eyes. He doesn't have photoreceptors.
Mhm.
He sees through echolocation, through hearing, and he communicates through like he does
Similarly.
communicate through sound and clicking and things like that.
Yeah. Yeah, I found all that interesting, and maybe like the one, it's not even a problem with the movie. It's just if I was trying to put a hat on a hat, maybe make the section where Ryan Gosling is a little scared of him a little longer, because he gets over being scared of this thing pretty fast, I would say. I mean, he
Yeah.
goes from like meeting it to trusting it in like 2 minutes, which is kind of crazy.
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely it's when you have a book, you can spend more time on anything.
Mhm.
And there's definitely a longer segment of like them figuring out language and how do we communicate and that whole process where in this they truncated it where he was like, okay, I'm gonna learn how to talk to this thing and then everything will be fine.
Oh, I just mean how long it took him to meet it and then take off his helmet, because that shows a crazy amount
Oh.
of trust.
Oh yeah,
And that happened very fast. in the
that's a good
movie.
point. That's a good point. Yeah.
Because if it was trying to like kill him, well, I guess they wouldn't have had the barrier and all that kind of other stuff if he was
Yeah.
trying to kill him. But
Yeah, I don't think he showed to be very threatening. Obviously, he was curious and cautious, but
mhm.
I think he was kind of the same boat as Ryan Gosling. Like, who is this out here? Who is there someone else out here?
Yeah, I don't remember how long did it take them to take the masks off in Arrival. They do that almost immediately in Arrival.
Yeah,
too,
she does
right?
it very
Yeah.
soon too. People in
Yeah.
sci-fi movies love taking out their helmets. Just love it.
Because you got to
For
show that
sure.
Hollywood face.
Yeah.
That helmet, that's
Absolutely.
the moneymaker right there behind that helmet. So
Oh. Definitely.
So humor wise, was that the type of humor that you would have picked for this movie or loved for this movie, or did you think it was a little on the goofy end? Like let me give you another example that I think
Mhm.
it was just dialed a little bit more towards the goofy rather than the funny to me. He would do something in the lab and all of the diverse world leaders are watching him, and he would do something and then the head lady would say, clap, everyone clap, and then they would all clap.
Mhm.
So-
And that just is so goofy.
Zach, so far your examples of the goofy humor have been everything on Earth and not about Rocky. So was it more like the human interaction that you found goofy, or did it extend into the interaction with Rocky also?
So perhaps it was the humans not acting like humans act, like the
Okay,
please
yeah.
clap, and then the serious world leaders that are all like looking through the window all clap, and she did that joke a couple times.
Sure.
With Rocky, I mean, no, I didn't so much have a problem. Maybe when he first goes into the spaceship and he's just running around everywhere, just like a dog.
Oh, what's this?
basically.
What's the
Yeah.
exactly? Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's just a little bit like, okay, I mean, I guess this is your character. You're just kind of bumbling around and, like unserious person. I guess they're both unserious people.
Yeah.
It's
I
fine.
saw the clapping stuff with that character as more like people couldn't read her because she was like stoic, like a little, like Norwegian stoic, and so people couldn't tell when it was a clapping moment or a laughing moment or anything with her. She was just so dry with everybody. I don't know. I'm not sure that categorically changes, your opinion of the movie or anything like that. But I think that's where that humor came from, is that people can't read her. At least that's how I saw it. I thought the movie was not joke funny, but charming funny. And I think that's hard to do, hard to maintain. And also, I don't think you're going to get everybody with it. It sounds like it didn't work with Zach on every level that they probably want it to. I do, in retrospect, now that Zach has mentioned it, think that it's not Interstellar. It's not even The Martian. It's a little science-y light here and there.
Yeah, I agree.
In place for like a little bit more of an adventure and a little bit more of like a buddy film going on here.
Yeah.
More than like explaining not necessarily every detail of the science, but having watched The Martian like maybe 6 months ago, there's not an incredible amount of science explaining in it, but way more than this movie for sure.
Also, I don't know if the main character, he was happy on Earth, right? Teaching, like, obviously he wanted to be this scientist, but he wasn't taken seriously, because of his, alien beliefs or whatever, I guess. But he seemed pretty happy as a teacher, right? Like it fit him too. Like he's, he doesn't have the temperament to be like a serious scientist, right?
He's a little goofy. Yeah.
Yeah, he's a little goofy. He's a little bit like, I don't really care about the precision of this, and like that's fine. But he fits being a middle school teacher really well, or an elementary school teacher really well. But he alludes a little bit to some sadness in his past. Like he had a mate, I kind of like that they didn't go into it. I think that was cool. But it would have been interesting if he was a character that as he's in his vodka phase on the ship, he kind of does a Groundhog Day thing where like it gets a little dark.
Oh,
where
yeah.
he's like, I am the wrong person for this. And this is the last thing that I wanted because of this part of my history. You know what I mean? Like the last thing I wanted, I was already lonely, and this is like really lonely because I'm now up here and I'm gonna fail at this because the same way I failed at that, and maybe it's he let someone down and he lost someone in his life because he let them down, and he's about to lose everyone because he let them down. So that when he starts making discoveries that could actually save the world, it's like a personal redemption for him. And I didn't really get any type of personal redemption arc for him. It's more like he made a friend and now he cares about something. It's not like he didn't care about Earth before. Like he would have wanted to save Earth even without the friend. He cared about his students and that kind of thing. It taught him to be brave because then he wanted to go save Rocky.
Yeah.
But like, it would have been a little bit cooler if there's this personal redemption for like, he's like, this way that I failed in the past, I have more than made up for. And I'm gonna live off that for the rest of my life. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you get a little backstory, right? But we don't know a lot about the Ryan Gosling character besides what we see of him in space.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I could see that. Yeah, I could see that.
The thing that got it blacklisted does not seem that shocking, right? I don't think the science community would blacklist you because you think life could exist without water.
I got the impression it wasn't just his studies. I think it's maybe how he interacted with the academic community.
Sure.
Again,
like
I'm
non-rigorously.
Yeah, right. Or more of like, no, I'm right, and this is so. I can imagine if you have an out there conclusion and you're not, friendly with the academic community or getting along, I can see how you're kind of pushed out of it.
I didn't really see him as an antagonistic person though, who would like push the scientific community so much that they would blacklist him. I don't know. He seemed kind of, he's cowardly. You know what I mean? He seemed amenable to most things that people asked him to do, unless it was a stretch. And then he would just kind of retreat. That's why, I don't know, maybe his version of Blacklist is a little different than reality. You know what I mean? Like the fact that they rejected his idea, to him, that means he's blacklisted. And so
Right.
the best job he can get is a teacher at a high school. When in reality, maybe it wasn't quite that clear a line. He just read it wrong. I don't know. They don't go into that in the movie at all. I just, that would make more sense to me than them actually blacklisting him over a theory. Or him like being a jerk, and that's why they blacklisted him. I don't see him as that either.
Yeah,
He's
not at all.
he's
Yeah,
more
he's
likely to
not
run
being a jerk.
away, than to be a jerk.
So
I
maybe
think
he's
the
just a
mo-
path least resistance kind of guy.
yeah. I think the bulk of the movie just rests on the idea that, like, did you enjoy watching this alien and this guy converse? Because a good half of the screen time is just them talking, trying experiments, talking through the issue, learning about each other's, planets, ways, life, all that kind of stuff. So yeah, how'd you guys feel about that in general? Like, did you buy it?
I did.
Okay, me too.
Yeah, it worked for me. You don't know exactly how long Ryan Gosling was out there by himself.
Mhm.
Time is there's not a lot of marking of time in this movie.
The other thing that confused me too is, were they like unzipping him and shaving him over the course of the 11 years it took him to get out there? Because like he had a decent beard going, but that was not an 11-year beard.
No, so correct me if I'm wrong, James.
Mhm.
You might know more about hair than I do.
Sure.
I do think hair has a natural length that's different for everybody, that it will stop growing. Because hairs don't just come out of your head and then stay there forever, right? They periodically fall out.
Mhm.
And so hair is like kind of always recycling itself. And different people have different lengths what that happens at.
I
Are
mean,
you saying
I'm
that
definitely
then
not a
he would be surrounded by a
scientist.
big pile of hair there'd be 11 years of hair in his zipped suit?
We never got to see the bottom of the suit, what was collected down there. We never got to see down there.
I think I know your facial hair, just like the hair on your head. Generally, if you grow the hair on your head, it's just going to grow and grow and grow. Now,
I
depending
don't
on
think
how
that's the
healthy you
case.
keep it, it might snap off at some certain length. So you could possibly have like better hair that holds up longer if you don't take care of it. But I mean, you've seen people with hair, practically to the ground, and I think
Right.
it's more people just don't grow it that long, don't want to take care of it when
I think
it's that
some people
long.
genetically can grow longer hair and some people don't. And the people that you see with the longer hair can. Not necessarily
that's-
everyone can.
I think that's true. And he had a decent beard going, but I don't think it was long enough to be like, this is the length.
If you're in stasis or in a coma, or you're in some sort of like your I'm sure his metabolism was lowered, his breathing was lowered, like he was probably just kept barely alive.
Sure.
Would that stunt the growth? I mean, if like when I was fingernails, would that stunt the growth of all those other parts?
Yeah.
of your
Why
body?
wasn't his fingernails all disgusting?
Yeah. Like, so I don't know if you're in that like state of stasis, if does that just slow everything down, including hair growth?
Yeah.
See,
What
I
about the lady
imagine-
that died? Where was her beard?
What? That's a joke, right?
Yes, that's
No, but why was she not like a skeleton?
Well,
Again.
she was a little sunken.
Sure. So she had died like 3 days before.
No, because she was preserved. I mean, you're in a bag, you're in a controlled. There's no bacteria. Like if you keep a body in a
No. She's full of bacteria. There's more bacterial cells in her body than human cells.
Okay, fair point. I'm gonna guess the state of stasis you're kept in is just a very clean environment. Maybe it's an anaerobic environment. The bacteria can't breathe.
I mean,
I
it
don't
didn't
know.
bother me for the record. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, I wasn't looking for those kind of things in this movie. Maybe because
I
it's
think-
science light.
They didn't want to animate a long beard, so they made it short.
No. He wouldn't have come out with a Rip Van Winkle beard that's like 6
Like,
feet long.
Huge fingernails, like
Because
Nosferatu.
James, there are religions around the world where you never shave your beard. Okay, that is a thing, and
Okay.
people don't walk around with these 8-foot beards because they're 50 years old. They have a certain length beard, and that's as long as it ever grows. That is a normal thing.
You don't think they trim the beard? I'm pretty sure it's
No. There's religions you're not allowed to trim your beard.
like what? Please give me one.
Maybe Sikhs.
Okay. I've known Sikhs. I don't know exactly what what level they practice, but definitely it's a trimmed beard. It's a beard. I'll give you that. But
I think like hair, it's a combination of genetics and how well you take care of it, and how long you let it grow, like how much you can handle of it. Like with a beard, it's how much you can handle of it thinning out on some level. And I think it can change over time. I'm just saying, he's a young man.
Sikhism, just keeping your hair uncut, including the beard, is a major religious practice. It's one of their core tenets.
So it's definitely the hair on the head, yes, because the head wraps that Sikhs wear is usually mostly made of long hair for men. But I'm looking at pictures of Sikhs. They all have short trimmed beards. They have beards, but they're not these. I don't think you're saying, oh yeah, most men grow a beard about an inch or two long. Like that would make you exceptional, Zach, with your beard already, and that would make James a freak.
I'm just saying the beard stuff took me out for about
for
about a half second, and then I was right back in. I was like, what's up with this beard?
Can you guys Google Sikh man?
I'm looking at Sikh's beard right now.
No, specifically, can you Google the word Sikh space man?
SIHK, right?
SIKH space man, and look at the AI overview.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was on images.
What is this?
Often recognized by a bunch of numbers.
Isn't that? Have you ever seen that before?
God, have you unlocked numerology, Zach?
AI is amazing.
Something's going on here.
Yeah. What happened? What is that code?
Yeah, I hit something.
Yeah.
Yeah. According to these photos, Zach, the Sikhs be trimming.
Yeah, I mean, some of them have
they be
beards.
trimming a lot.
Yeah, I would say I'm looking at Sikh man, just like images, and maybe one or two of the beards are as comparable as James's.
No, here's what I'm saying is every religion has a different level of like fidelity, right? And how seriously they take it. Some of these Sikh pictures, you can tell it's like a Western Sikh person that does not live out the don't ever cut your beard tenet, right? That's pretty obvious by looking at some of these like very trimmed beards.
Okay.
Mhm.
But some of them, like I could believe that they've just never cut their beards, and that's how long their beard grows.
There's
and that's a
definitely
lifetime beard.
Some
Yeah,
photos
like this guy right here with the beard down to his belly button. I agree. He's ever shaved it before. That one, I agree.
And how old is he? How long has that beard been growing? Is my question for you.
He's mostly gray haired, so I'm going to say he's at least older than James.
So his beard's been growing for 50 years, right?
Yeah. Well,
so that's a 50-year beard down to his belly button. So what's an 11-year beard for him?
No, it's definitely
right. But what does he do with it? Does he wash it daily? Does he use conditioner? Does he use?
He doesn't use conditioner.
Beard oil. That's what I'm saying. Like, if you want to grow a long beard, these are things that you probably have to do. Otherwise, it just breaks off.
Yeah.
Well, this is what James. That's the opposite of what you're saying. This guy is not beard oiling his beard when he's in a coma, so it's not going to grow long and luxurious.
This guy with the world's longest Sikh beard is 100% conditioning it because he has a world record, and he's been he's not trimmed it since he was 17.
Okay.
Which his routine includes shampoo, conditioner, and combing his beard daily.
Nice.
Yeah,
that's what you got to do.
Also, oil and gel to keep his beard in place during the day.
Just like long hair, if you want to have long hair, you have to do those things. Otherwise, it'll start breaking off at some length. There's a way too long a discussion about.
I just
beards.
looked this up, and beards have terminal lengths. This is I don't
know what
a
that
fact
means.
about beards. It has terminal length.
Terminal, like where it ends.
They don't grow indefinitely. Beard hair enters a resting and shedding phase after a specific growth period that varies by individual. often landing between 1 and 3 feet, and is sometimes shorter for people. So after 3 to 5 years, most beards reach a terminal length.
I believe it.
So you're saying Ryan Gosling's beard? Okay, but so does it stop growing, or does it then fall out and new hair grows?
It basically starts recycling itself.
Okay, so then we're back to he should have been in a bag full of hair.
100%. Yes.
Okay.
I don't know how the disintegration time frame of hair. Right. I don't think hair lasts forever.
Yeah, but
11 years.
If you're in a spaceship, spaceships are like you don't get much cleaner than a spaceship.
I'm going to run with my original hypothesis is they unzipped and shaved him while he was in the coma.
I mean,
Who's they?
That little machine.
That robot hand. Armando.
Oh, interesting.
Right.
And they do it once every like 3 years.
I mean, I'm sure the robot does like a yearly physical or a check-in or something like that.
Yeah, I agree.
So
I agree.
This is
and
so
like is
pointless.
vacuuming up the hair as it's doing it, or again is the hair collecting it? I think regardless of the scenario, hair is collecting in this bag.
I really want a new cut of this movie, and he unzips. He's like, blah, blah, and there's just like hair everywhere.
I just want 30 minutes on how they managed the hair during the.
I think there's an appropriate amount of hair
during the part they didn't even show in the movie of him traveling to the planet.
So he was what? Was it 11 years?
Well, so they say it's an 11-year journey,
Mm-hmm.
or it's 11 light years away, but they're not traveling the speed of light.
They're probably going pretty close to it.
They're probably going really fast. So I assume it's an 11-year journey. So yeah, so the world's going to die in like 30 years. It's 11 years to get out there, and then like 11 years to send the probes back. That's cutting it close.
I got this. Yeah. I mean, I got the sense that if it's, it's 11 years, but that's 22 years and it's 30 years till a billion people die. It seems like, I mean, he obviously saved a bunch of people, but like it still got pretty bad.
And like, what planet is there to say? Because I mean, let's be honest. If there was a terminal end to Earth, governments aren't gonna be like, no. We'll wait out 20 years. Let's see where this goes. Like, people are going to start fighting for resources and close their borders and lock in. I mean, this movie is not dystopian, and it does not focus on the dystopian side of Earth whatsoever.
Mm-hmm.
But you can make I think a very dystopian parallel movie about what's happening on Earth while this hopeful sci-fi movies happening at the same time.
I think they made mention of it a couple times that like, even if he's successful, things are going to get rough on Earth, but this is still like our one shot here.
Right.
For the long-term sustainability of Earth
and the human race. Exactly.
Yeah, and that unless there was like some kind of crazy breakthrough like this, the governments are never going to align well enough for it to be like not necessarily an easy transition to whatever Earth turns into, but just that like the governments are not going to align enough to make a real saving effort on Earth.
Yeah.
An interesting like consequence of this film is like all of a sudden Earth is now like an intergalactic species, right? They now know how to make something that can send them to any star they want to go to.
It's a great
like,
point. Yeah.
Yeah. This is a huge technological like step up for them. Like now they're Dune essentially. They can just go everywhere.
They have stasis technology. They can travel anywhere.
Totally. Yeah. And 99% of the galaxy, if it had life, does not have life.
Oh,
so,
right.
like,
because all the stars were eaten. And,
so they kind of have the world to themselves. They could probably even restart a star once it's been eaten and like all the thing leaves. And now they have all this energy from the thing. They can probably restart stars. And I mean, I'm just saying they're going to do some cool stuff in the future now.
Project Hail Mary, the sequel.
And the whole universe
Project
just had to die.
Universe domination.
What'd you say, James?
The whole universe just had to die to make it happen.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Because the universe was created for man.
Yeah.
This is our playground.
Yeah.
Back on the topic of like what's going on Earth.
Mm-hmm.
This movie did definitely leave out some of like the darker decisions that happened for the project on Earth. This movie presents it like, oh yeah, we have this plan. We'll build the spaceship. We'll put this thing in here. We'll send you off to space. But at the same time, they're nuking Antarctica to like help warm the Earth, like to create greenhouse gases, to farm as much of the astrophage as they need for travel. They essentially turn the Sahara Desert into a giant solar array. Right. So I mean, I think there is interesting of like how much do we need to destroy the Earth to save the Earth at the same time.
Yeah. Oh, totally.
Yeah. But again, this is a feel-good sci-fi movie, so they're not going to focus on the more dire things that are happening.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm glad they left out all that stuff because wouldn't have been as feel-good as it turned out to be.
Oh no! I mean, it's bad enough when you see like a giant building explode, killing all the scientists.
Yeah, you know, I saw that happen in the movie, and I remember them saying roughly that it happened. And it wasn't until you guys mentioned it that I was like, "Oh yeah, that was a sad moment." They moved past it so fast that I didn't even. It didn't feel dark to me.
I mean,
even though they did kill all the scientists in one shot.
I think that's what I like about the Sandra Hüller character is like she's so mission driven. Because like she knows this is our only shot. Like I can't be emotional or personal. You know, I can't take things personally or like it's this has to happen. We lost these scientists. I'm sure she recognizes that's a tragedy, both at a personal level, but also like, but for the mission, the mission has to go on.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think she has this ability to compartmentalize. I'm sure once the rocket gets launched, it's like, okay, well now I can deal with all these things I've been feeling for the next 20 years. But in the moment, it's mission forward.
I liked her in this.
Oh yeah,
between this. Anatomy of a Fall, Zone of Interest, like she's quickly becoming I don't know if go-to is the right word, but if I needed a role that seemed to match her, her type,
can I say
she'd
though,
be the first call. Go ahead.
For half the movie, I did think it was Cate Blanchett.
Oh my God. Ridiculous. Why? Just because they're white women? Older white women?
They have they have a similar like cheek structure. I see it.
If you put up two photos next to each other, I bet short of the very surface level connections, they wouldn't look a whole lot the same.
When you type in Sandra Hüller, Cate Blanchett, the first suggestion is, why does Sandra Hüller look like Cate Blanchett?
Oh my gosh.
Nice.
Yeah. Well, then don't forget I have face blindness.
Yeah. So I'm Kyle, and that's Zach.
I mean, clearly it's not her, but I'm just more familiar with Cate Blanchett, and I kind of forgot about her as an actress. You know what I mean? So
yeah. No, and I see the similarity there for sure.
Sure.
This is not spoilery. Can I tell you an epiphany I had today?
Yeah. And
I have not researched this. I've not verified this epiphany, but I was thinking about the word airlock. Right?
Okay.
Because Galen was asking me like why can he go between? Because we saw this with Galen. Galen loved this movie, by the way. He thought he was all on board for Rocky, and he was like, "Oh, why can you go from a spaceship to space?" And I was like, "Well, there's an airlock." He's like, "Well, how's the airlock work?" And I was explaining like, "Well, you close the door and you pressurize. You open the door, you go in between." And then I was like, "Oh my goodness, it's not a water lock like on a river. It's an airlock where a lock on water allows you to change between like two parts of a river where you go in there, it lowers the water, lets you out." I never put that together.
You never thought of it as a lock.
No, I thought airlock is like you lock the door. I never thought of it as like a water lock where it allows you to change between two environments.
Well,
up until this moment, I never thought about it that way either.
Exactly. I just had this epiphany in the car today.
Can I suggest that you're still thinking about it backwards? And the epiphany is not that it's an airlock like you lock the door. It's that a water lock is like you lock the door. So that's why it's called a water lock.
It's nothing to do with locking the door at all.
Well, why not?
No,
'Cause you're
well,
not
okay.
locking anything.
Yeah, no, right.
in
A water lock is you don't I don't explain to you what
I
a water,
do know
yeah.
what a water lock is. Yeah.
Which we just call a lock, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So then this is an airlock is the same idea,
No,
but
I
instead,
totally,
yeah.
I totally get that. But why do we
Okay.
call it a water lock? Is what my question is.
Well, we don't call it a water lock. We just call it a lock.
What
Okay,
does
why
the
do we
word
call it a
lock
lock?
mean?
That I don't know. Do you think it's because of locking the door? Is that why?
That's what I'm looking up right now.
A water lock does need a door, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
but like does okay, yeah.
The word lock is an Old English ancestor of the word lock, L-O-C, which meant a barrier, fastening, or enclosure.
Okay. All right. So it
But
does come
wouldn't-
from the actual word lock, like
what
as in
about
to
the
lock the
lo-
door.
Yes.
What about the Loch Ness monster?
That's a Scottish lake. I was wondering that too. It does have to do with lake, but I think that's not related.
So a lock is also a lake.
If it's yes, in England, LOCH is a lake.
Sure.
But Zach was saying that the old word for lock, as in a door lock, is LOC.
Yeah. A Scottish Gaelic word for lock means lake, and it does not come from the same language as the Germanic word for lock, which means a barrier, fastening, or enclosure. And so what I'm suggesting is that perhaps
Okay. Yes.
a water lock and an airlock mean the same things, but it means more how you think of an airlock, where it's like it's putting up a barrier and then and then locking it. And so really the realization for you is that a water lock is essentially functions the same way.
Yes. Right. And that they function the same, and that the word airlock comes from water lock. Yes.
What or yes, or perhaps not even comes from that, but yeah.
Well, I would assume that, I mean, we could, I think we could agree that a water lock, which is called a lock, was created before the airlock was created.
I don't necessarily know that we can assume that, just because I know ship travel has existed long before canals, with locking systems.
Yeah.
And I would imagine I could picture a world where ships included some sort of airlock technology.
Interesting, to go between. But okay, but what word came first, lock or airlock? I would say the word lock, as in the water lock, is a older word than the word airlock.
It might just be they both are as equally descriptive and like important for each other. It's not like one led to the other. You know what I mean? It's like what you would naturally describe for both situations, because that's what is happening, rather than like, we've done water locks for so long, now we have to deal with air. Let's just borrow the phrase we use for water. And more, it's just like, this is what is happening in both situations.
Okay.
So we'll apply the same word.
Yeah, I mean, we just don't say the word water lock. We say lock, but we do say airlock. So that's why I think that the word lock for water came first, and then the word airlock came second, because it's a qualifier. You're putting the word air in front of it.
I mean, we did have water locks before we had airlocks.
No, I'm not talking about the technology. I'm talking about the actual word now. Like Zach is correct. The concept of an airlock could be older than the concept of a water lock. But I'm saying the actual word lock is the word lock in the reference of water older than the word airlock.
I think that's
being
I would agree.
airlock.
I would probably agree with that.
Yeah.
Unrelated, but also far more on topic. Looks like Sandra Hüller is in the new Inarritu movie this year, the Tom Cruise one with Jesse
Digger,
Plemons. Yeah, she's third build, so maybe she'll have like a bigger role in it.
Nice. She's gonna have a big career moving forward.
Yeah, which is interesting because it wasn't until her 40s that American audiences have discovered her, which is not usual, I would say, for most actresses or actors for that matter.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I'm sure if we dove into it, we could find a list of actors who kind of hit it in their 40s and.
Oh, I'm sure it happens.
Put the work in.
Yeah. All right. Anything else with Project Hail Mary? Let's talk just a little bit about that very ending. He his rock friend Rocky gives him enough fuel to get home. Then on his way home, he realizes his friend Rocky is going to have some issue with, I don't know, some bacteria, something like that. And so
they poorly describe the issue.
Sure.
Yes.
The issue didn't matter. The point was he could continue on his way home, or he could turn around and save Rocky, and he doesn't know what happens to him, essentially.
He won't have
after he
enough fuel
saves
to go
Rocky.
home, so he'd have
Right,
to
he won't
tag
have
along
enough
with
fuel to go
Rocky.
home.
Yeah.
So this guy who definitely did not want to go to space to save the world has definitely done a 180. He makes the sacrifice he wasn't willing to make earlier on in the movie, and he sacrifices himself and his ability to go home to save Rocky. And then they have this little section right there at the end of the movie where he's on Rocky's planet, and they've built him a biodome that resembles the ocean and
Correct.
Earth.
Yeah.
And he's teaching all the rock children about science. And they end the movie with telling him that he could go home if he wanted to, and he's not sure he wants to. Is that generally what the ending was?
Correct. Yes.
I wasn't so sure about that ending.
Which part?
I don't know. The whole. I liked that it added on to the feel good feelings of everything. But if there was one moment in the movie I thought was a little goofy, it was him teaching science to the rock children. And stuff like that. I was just a little bit.
And they all
like,
cheer.
I don't know about this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I will say that is a book accurate ending in the fact that he does go back to Arid, but it's more in an epilogue where I think it's towards the end of his life, and you realize that he's lived a full life on the planet, sharing his knowledge that the Arids don't have. Okay. So yeah, they chose maybe I would say they chose not the more goofy, the more in line with the tone of the movie ending than like a sentimental ending.
Yeah, it got a little Fraggle Rock at the end.
That's a
For
good
sure.
point. Yeah.
Yes. 100%.
So yeah, I see what you mean, James. Like just that last shot of all the kids being like, "Woo!" was a little.
But I do believe they would build him a biodome, and like I think him and Rocky are the most famous people on the planet for sure. Like he's the only alien, right, that they've ever met.
Yeah.
And he saved their entire planet. I mean, they will do anything that he asks.
Yeah. That's true.
Did he marry one of them though? That's the question.
No.
Did he take a mate?
I don't think they went that far.
No, I don't think so.
All right. That's it for Project Hail Mary. After talking spoilers, anybody going to change their star ranking on this one?
Oh, one other thing that was a bigger part of the book was the watching each other sleep. I feel like that was a big part of the book.
It was a yes.
In the movie, it didn't make as much sense had you not read the book. I felt it was a little understood. James, did you get that sense at all?
I totally understood what was going on.
Really?
Yeah, the rock guy, Rocky, he watched his people, his rock compadres die one by one, and he could do nothing about it. And so he wanted to watch him sleep. And no,
so that's actually not it.
That's not it.
That's what they said in the movie, right?
That's not even what they said in the movie. No, but I can understand why it would seem like that way. In the
Well,
movie,
no,
they give the reasoning, and that's not the reasoning.
Rocky does say, I watched them die and I couldn't do anything about it.
For sure,
Yeah.
but that's not why.
But that's not why they watch each other while they sleep.
Yeah.
Why
They do this at
why
home.
else
This
would
is
you
their
need-
cultural norm at home on Arid. Everyone watches each other while they sleep.
Well, it's because
Sure.
when they sleep, they're in a paralytic state.
Yeah, they can't move, and so they can't protect themselves from predators. So they have to watch each other so predators don't eat them. And they say that in the movie. So that is the reasoning in the movie given, but it's glossed over so quickly that I don't think you would think that.
I didn't think that. And even though they said it, I didn't soak it in clearly. And also, I don't think it matters. I think the fact that they glossed over it doesn't really matter in the big picture. Didn't bother me at all. I never had to second guess why he was watching him sleep.
I'm gonna lose a half star right there.
Despite not soaking it in. I think probably they gave that explanation and also the other one. And whichever way your brain works, you attached yourself to that explanation. I don't even think they would have to give an explanation. They could just be like, he watches people when they sleep. That's just his weird thing. You know what I mean?
And wants to be watched.
And
Yeah,
wants to be watched, and that's it.
But
And
they
I
don't want
would
to make
have
him a
accepted that.
weirdo though. Like he's odd, but he's not like a creep.
Sure.
So it made more sense that like culturally we watch each other sleep versus like, hey, can I watch you sleep?
But
Like,
he
that
was
just makes
already
it-
an alien. If he was a human man or woman saying those things to another human, I would say creep. But when it's an alien, it's not that creepy. An alien that they're presenting as harmless.
right. But they give you a reason why it's harmless. Like he wants to watch you sleep.
Right. But they don't even have to give you the reason.
Okay.
At that point, he had enough personality quirks that I would have accepted it even without any reasons.
All right. So if James ever meets an alien, no matter what the alien asks him to do, he'd be like, yeah, okay, you're an alien. That makes sense. Sure.
If they feel pretty harmless and he wants to watch me snooze, go for it. What do I care?
What? How far will you let this alien go before you're like, okay, no, I'm not doing that.
Especially if I'm alone, 11 years away from Earth, he can watch me do whatever I'm doing.
He's
I
like,
don't care.
can I wash your hair?
Sure, why not?
Okay. All right.
That's the other thing they didn't explain. Does he like take showers out there or anything, or the whole time he was unshowered?
Of course.
It's okay. So the arm is a super arm. It's like they don't really talk about the arm in the movie,
Mhm.
but the arm is like it's medicine, it's food,
Does everything.
it does everything. Yeah. So
I mean, at least they didn't give it what's his name's voice.
Kevin Spacey,
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
glad about that
that would have been an unfortunate choice.
for sure. Okay, Project Hail Mary is over. It's time to talk our list for this week. This list is our top 10 feel good sci-fi movies, which is a kind of a subgenre, clearly, of sci-fi. A lot of sci-fi movies are not feel good movies. They are
No.
dystopian, dire, end of the world. Well, this one has an end of the world element, but dark. A lot of them are horror movies, that kind of stuff. But there's this little subgenre of them, some space-related sci-fi, some not, that are really kind of optimistic movies. That doesn't mean they don't have dark moments or plot lines that are complicated or occasionally dip into dark subjects. But for the most part, in the end, you're left not necessarily feeling hopeful, but not feeling, I don't know, depressed, I guess, on some level.
You feel maybe better about the world after watching these movies.
Yeah, I think
Sure.
it's got the triumphal spirit. It's got characters you like being around, right? You like spending time with
Mhm.
these people. And yeah, it's got like usually a playful tone to it.
Mhm. Definitely. So that was generally the criteria I used for my version of the top 10 feel good sci-fi movies list. I'll start with my number 10. We'll round robin this. It's Project Hail Mary, which we just talked about.
Heard of it. My number 10. So you'll see right from the start. I think you can have real emotional depth in a feel good sci-fi movie. It doesn't just have to be lighthearted the whole time.
Mhm.
So my number 10 is The Iron Giant.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Obviously sci-fi, it's got a giant robot. And the feel good is, it's got some real sadness to it, but like it does have that triumphal spirit of the will, and like it leaves you feeling great at the end of the movie. You have to go through that journey to get there, but I think that feel good spirit at the end is what matters for a feel good movie.
Good choice. My number 10 is Farmageddon. This is a Shaun the Sheep movie, and it's about an alien visits the Shaun the Sheep farm and befriends the sheep, and then the farmer turns into this whole kind of alien spectacle where he's selling tickets, and everyone gets enraptured with UFO fever. And it's a kid's film. It's very good natured, has a lot of references to other sci-fi movies. So I think it's a good my first sci-fi movie. And it's a lot of fun.
Nice. My number 9 is Star Wars: Return of the Jedi from 1983. It's the only Star Wars movie that made my list, but certainly there are others that are very hopeful movies in the end. Not Empire, which is my favorite. That one's kind of dark at the end, but Return of the Jedi being the third in the original trilogy kind of wraps everything up. There's victory, there's redemption for characters. There's some darker elements here and there, but I mean, this movie's so kind of like good vibes, or at least it's trying to inject some good vibes that like you got the Ewoks in this one. It's just a lighter movie in my mind than certainly the one that preceded it. Maybe it's equal in the light vibes to the original, possibly. I don't know. I definitely wanted to throw a Star Wars in here, and to me, this is the one that felt the most, quote unquote, feel good. Return of the Jedi.
Nice. My number 9, I think shares a lot of similarities with Project Hail Mary. It is Short Circuit.
Oh, yeah.
Short Circuit. They build a robot named Johnny 5, and yeah, it's kind of like a buddy movie, sci-fi for sure. They build a robot, and it's got kind of the same goofy kind of like fish out of water humor that Project Hail Mary does. I haven't watched this in years, so I don't know how well it's held up, but I was definitely a Johnny 5 fan. So yeah, Short Circuit.
I guess the answer is not well, but just don't watch it. Live in that nostalgia.
I think the actor that plays like the main character and the main character is Indian. I think he's like white.
Oh, Fisher
So-
Stevens. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's very white. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's doing the voice and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
So that hasn't aged well.
James, I did consider Star Wars for my list. I didn't include it, but I would have included Return of the Jedi if I chose one. I think you're correct. That
Nice.
is the most hopeful of all of them. Though you could argue that Rogue One has a message of hope, even if it's not a hope, if it's a downer ending. So
Sure.
Yeah.
I guess.
but my number 9 also is about a robot. Actually, there are several robot movies on my list, and there's something about robots. I mean, robots in sci-fi in general, but definitely they seem to pop up in these hopeful ones too. And that is The Wild Robot, which came out in 2024. This is based on a book. It's about a essentially a domestic robot that washes up on an island that's only populated by animals, and this robot works to become part of the ecosystem on the island. Even though it's a robot, it's made by man. This is nature. The big theme of it is, nature versus nurture. Can you be more than what you were designed, built, programmed, whatever to be? It's a very sweet movie. Books are great. They're making more of them. Looking forward to them.
Nice. Do you have something else to say?
No, I'm all set.
All
Continue,
right.
James.
I like that movie as well. Good animated robot movie. My number 8, another animated robot movie that's already been mentioned by Zach, The Iron Giant from 1999. I don't have much to add. Just a very it's a movie that can get dark, but by the end of it, you got this robot that is basically saving all its friends, and it's a classic for a reason. It's a great movie, and short as well. Number 8.
My number 8 is another robot movie. So far, all of my movies have been robot movies.
Terminator.
This is WALL-E.
Oh.
Yeah.
WALL-E. I mean, there's some, desolation in WALL-E, right? But ultimately, it's this. There's a romance at the heart of it that is just so much wonder. I think the one scene that to me stands out the most in all of WALL-E is when he's in space and he's like spinning around in space, and just seeing the universe like in all its glory. That is a very hopeful, feel good kind of sci-fi vibe. So WALL-E, my number 8.
I want to mention I made my list based on like how I like all these movies, but it's
Mhm.
based on how like feel goody they are to me.
Nice. Mine's not.
So-
Mine's based on how much I like them.
Okay. Now, definitely, I would say the higher they get, the more I like them in general too. But definitely,
Like, do
feel
I
good
know
is
your
what it's
number 1 or not?
You
is my
pro.
question.
I think you do. I'm curious to know. Text me what you think my number one is.
Okay.
I'm just curious. Yeah. All right. My number 8 though is The Martian, which we kind of discussed in this podcast already. Yeah, you're Mark Watney lost in space, and you're rooting for him to get home, and you're feeling good that he's figuring these out, and he's his ups and downs, and you want to see him succeed, and this movie delivers that to you.
My number 7 is The Martian.
Nice.
I don't have
My
anything
number
to add.
7 is Lilo and Stitch. Lilo and Stitch. Yeah. So obviously there's an alien spaceship premise right behind it, which you can kind of forget about, right? Because it just takes place on Hawaii. But there's also a lot of heart to it, right? There's this bond between these sisters. And yeah, it has that feel good spirit to me in it. So
Nice.
My number 7 is another movie from 2024. I think I talked about this on my top 20 list of that year. It's Robot Dreams. This is an animated movie about it takes place in like a world where there's humans and anthropomorphic animals. It's sort of like an alternative 1980s. And there's a lonely dog that buys a companion robot essentially to be its friend. It takes the robot to Coney Beach. The robot steps into salt water and sort of malfunctions. And throughout the movie, then the dog's trying to kind of rescue his robot friend and bring him back, while the robot is lying on the beach, kind of having these dreams of the life he could have. So it sounds depressing, and it is in the middle, but then it does then give you a hopeful and a feel good ending to it. So it takes you on a journey. It takes you on an arc. Yeah.
I forgot about Robot Dreams.
Did you see it?
I did see it.
Oh,
I
good.
thought it was great.
Yeah, it's great.
Very, very good. If you need like a feel good animated movie that I think kids would like too, but adults can definitely appreciate, Robot Dreams was.
Oh yeah, Galen
that
watched it.
movie.
I would say it's older kid appropriate for sure.
100%.
Yeah.
My number 6, speaking of older kid appropriate, from 1986, I already mentioned Short Circuit, which is just a goofy, charming movie. That's all it's going to be, even if you rewatch it, is a goofy, charming movie. It's going to wear its 80s-ness on its sleeve for sure. But over the course of that movie, you've got this robot who has been injected with a personality its creators did not intend for it to have. Like, what does it get electrocuted or something like that? And for some reason it like comes alive, or I don't know. I forget.
Yeah, it's like a lightning bolt or something. Yeah.
Over the course of the movie, it wonders if it has a soul and stuff like that. And by the end of it, it learns about life and the concept of kindness, which is about as feel good as you can get, in my opinion. My number 6, Short Circuit.
Nice. My number 6 is a movie I just rewatched with my kids a couple weeks ago. Honey, I Shrunk the Kids.
Oh.
So this is where a bunch of kids accidentally get shrunk by their dad's shrink ray, and then they have to survive in the lawn in front of the house. And my kids were really liking it, and then the aunt died, and then they couldn't finish it.
They were attached to the ant.
They got attached to the ant, yeah. So unfortunately, but I think it's a really fun movie. It's definitely feel good in kind of like a playful way. Nothing's too serious, but it just takes a cool sci-fi premise and then like lets it play out in little family adventure.
Spoilers for Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. How does the ant die? I don't even remember.
Protecting them from a scorpion.
A scorpion. Yeah.
Why was there a scorpion? Like, where do they live? Arizona?
Probably California.
Yeah, it doesn't say, but it looks like California to me. Like,
yeah,
Central California.
I lived in California. I don't remember scorpions being all over the place.
Well, California is next to Arizona, so
I guess
it could maybe migrated.
Yeah, if you could imagine them in Arizona, you might be able to imagine them in California.
I guess
it did seem strange that it was at that scale, though. Like it's ant-sized scorpion. So I don't know.
It was a very small scorpion. Yes.
Yeah.
We watched that with Galen like in the
Mhm.
last several months. I don't know if I like that movie.
Really? Why?
It's so gross and sticky and wet and muddy and like just the I don't know like like the ants hairy, the bumblebees hairy. They're in the milk. Just like the whole time, I'm kind of like, this movie's kind of gross. I was just kind of grossed out the entire time.
Sounds like
The
something
giant
you'd be
dust
into.
balls on the ground.
That is great.
I don't. As a kid, it didn't bother me. As an adult, I was like, oh, I don't like the aesthetic of this movie whatsoever.
Interesting.
Well,
yeah.
Lucky for you, it's made for kids.
I know exactly. Galen thought it was great. I was just kind of like, oh, I don't think I like this movie anymore. So. My number 6 is a movie that it was higher on my list, but then I kind of thought about it and I bumped it lower. I'll explain why. It's Close Encounters of the Third Kind. This is a movie about people who they have UFO encounters. They obsess over these UFO encounters, and they're all drawn to Devil's Tower. And the UFOs show up, and then they have this beautiful musical conversation between humans and UFOs. It's kind of first contact. There's no space lasers, no one's being violent or blowing things up. And then the UFOs go on their way. And it's sort of like, hey, this is our first contact. And the reason why I bumped it down is because Richard Dreyfuss plays the main character throughout this movie. And it's great seeing him on his journey, but he completely just like ditches his family for these UFOs. Like he becomes so obsessed that he leaves his family. He, runs off with another woman who, I don't think they have any like relationship going on, but he runs off with another woman who is also seeking the same thing. And he's kind of like just a jerk to them because he's so obsessed with these UFOs. So
Sure.
it's not like a feel good family story about like, oh yeah, this man finds something. Like, no, he leaves them and then runs off and has the cool experience. And they're just, what happened to our dad? From the kid's perspective, the mom's perspective, our dad/husband went crazy. It disappeared on us. So that's a little dark.
A little bit.
Yeah.
All right. My number 5 is another one. Zach stole my thunder on 2008's Wall-E, I would say.
Sorry,
All
man. I'm
capitals.
one step ahead of you.
It's all good. I just like these movies more than you do. I don't have much to add other than the only thing Zach didn't mention is the idea that like this little robot found this little plant and that's the signifier that like humans can come back to Earth. You know what I mean? Like life can grow here again. And I think that's hopefully someday after we kill the planet, life will grow again on it.
Okay. My number 5 obviously belongs on this list because thematically it's one of the closest fits. The Martian, right? The Martian.
Yep.
Feel good sci-fi from the same guy.
Mm-hmm.
My number 5 is the previously mentioned Wall-E. And I think something else we haven't mentioned is he also learns to love in this movie. He learns about friendship and companionship, and there's more to life than serving humans.
Nice.
It's a great movie.
My number 4, Guardians of the Galaxy from 2014, which I debated this one because I'm not sure if this I don't feel like this is a comedy first movie. I feel like it is sci-fi, or maybe it's like a 50-50 balance between comedy and sci-fi. I don't know. Just because of the Marvel movie-ness of it, they're all kind of sci-fi. So I don't know, felt weird. But specifically out of all the Marvel movies, as far as feel-good movies, as far as I'm concerned, Guardians of the Galaxy is probably my favorite. The first and the second kind of exist in the same spot in my brain. I picked the first in this case. Just a very fun movie. Definitely has its dark moments. Definitely has characters who have their own individual issues, their issues with each other, that kind of stuff. But in the end, kind of the concept of a found family full of rebels actually having love for each other and sacrificing for each other wins out in the end. And that's what I like about the movie and those characters in general. My number 4.
Cool. My number 4 is undoubtedly in this genre, right? I think this is one of the clearest examples of the genre. E.T. the Extraterrestrial.
Yeah.
Obviously, there's some. I mean, if you're gonna cry in a sci-fi movie, this one's most likely to get you, right?
Yeah.
So a feel-good sci-fi movie can have those deep emotional moments, but it's all about how you feel walking out the theater, and E.T. hits that. So, classic.
There's nothing
number-
worse than like a movie that wants to take you to the depths and then become a feel good movie and they can't pull it off. E.T. is like the perfect formula for
Yeah.
that. So go ahead, Kyle.
My number 4, Project Hail Mary.
Nice. My number 3, the pattern continues. E.T. the Extraterrestrial.
I am one step ahead of you. That's so funny.
You really are. I can't imagine what these last 2 are going to be for you. Or last 3, rather.
Yeah. Well, because it's number 3, I thought I was bound. I couldn't. I wanted to not do this, but because it's the third on the list, I had to. I was forced to, against my will, choose a trilogy as my number 3,
Of
and
course.
that is the Back to the Future trilogy.
Okay.
And
That second one's not very hopeful. It's not
no,
feel good.
it's not. I
I don't
wouldn't
think you
describe
could
it.
pick the trilogy. I think 1 and 3.
1 and
that's
3.
what you
Yeah,
should
no,
pick.
no. I'm with you, James. If this was
Yeah.
at my number 2, I would have done that. But because it's the number 3, I had to include the,
You had
the
to do
entire
3 movies.
trilogy.
Yeah.
I almost put it at my number 4 since eventually they're going to reboot it or do a Lego sequel or something and do a 4th one. So I almost had to put it at my number 4. But
I don't think they are.
You don't think they will?
Christopher
think it's
Lloyd is
done.
old, and Marty McFly. I can't remember his name right now. Michael J. Fox
J. Fox.
is. I mean, he's still acting, but obviously he's not the same.
They're
He doesn't
not-
have the same body that he had.
Well, I will say this. One, Christopher Lloyd is still acting, right? But he's in the Nobody movies. But I
Right.
would say I don't think they're going to do a Lego sequel where they play their same roles or like it's going to be those 2 guys. Undoubtedly, they're going to reboot this thing. I mean, there's a Broadway musical, or not Broadway, but there's like this
Well,
is still very
it's
much
a Broadway traveling musical now.
this is being milked, and
Yeah.
this will be rebooted at some point. Mark my words. But
Hmm.
I think it's a feel good sci-fi. It's so easy to watch. It's as much fun adventure as it is sci-fi, but it has definitely enough sci-fi to ground it in sci-fi. And it's feel good just because it goes down so easy,
So I did not include Back to the Future on my list. Zach off podcast made that guess that it was Back to the Future was on my top, and it's not gonna be on my list at all. And I'm sort of waffling now if I should have, because at first I saw it as more like in the comedy genre. Like we kind of talked about, like, oh, we're not gonna do Ghostbusters or kind of like Comet or Galaxy Quest.
Spaceballs.
Spaceballs, right?
Yeah.
And I kind of lumped Back to the Future into that of like, oh, it's more of a comedy with a sci-fi wrapper. But then when you think about it, especially the first Back to the Future, like he's trapped. It's kind of like The Martian. He's trapped in somewhere he shouldn't be and has to figure out how to get home and use his resources.
I don't think it's comedy first because there's not like jokes, you know what I mean? Like, or like the situations are funny.
Yeah, exactly.
But the dialogue, it's not like the humor. Whereas like Spaceballs, that's exactly what's happening.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm saying if I was to remake this list, I would probably put Back to the Future, the first one, somewhere in the top 5.
Okay.
But I can't do that now because these lists, like the commandments, are set in stone.
Mm-hmm.
So my number 3 is previously mentioned the Iron Giant. And the Iron Giant definitely kind of goes the route of E.T., where it has you fall in love with this relationship between this boy and this, alien robot, essentially. And then it kind of takes you into the depths a little bit where, with, is this relationship going to survive? But it has a hopeful and a feel good ending in the end, because again, it's sort of a triumph of nature versus nurture again. Can this robot become more than what it's programmed to be?
Yeah.
Nice. Love that movie. My number 2 is Star Trek 4: The Voyage Home. from 1986. This is the
With the
fourth
whales.
Star Trek movie with the whales. Earth needs
The
to be
whales.
saved, and the whales know how to do it, or something like that. I don't remember the exact plot of this. I just know that it's the only Star Trek movie where I felt super hopeful about the future through this weird sci-fi movie where they like travel back in time and save the whales in present day 1986. It's also one of the lighter of the original Star Trek movies. Just in general, lighter, more comedic, and also has like a feel good, hopeful element to the general plot at large. So my number 2, Star Trek 4: The Voyage Home.
Nice. My number 2 is a movie that I just really loved from a kid, Flight of the Navigator. I've already mentioned it on this podcast, but undoubtedly a sci-fi premise. There's an alien spaceship that, abducts a boy. He goes on this cross-country journey with it. Obviously there's some sad parts of it, but like overall it's just the fun kind of like childlike, adventure that he gets to have with this alien. And I think it's great. I love this movie. The scary parts are too scary for my kids still. If they couldn't handle the aunt dying, I don't think they can handle the parents, missing their child for 8 years. But I'm excited to show it to them eventually.
Eventually, yeah. Man, I wish I'd remembered Flight of the Navigator. That would have made my list for sure.
Nice.
That's a good pick. My number 2, this movie, or I should say Project Hail Mary, reminded me very much of this movie, and that is Contact. This movie is about Jodie Foster, who plays an astronomer. She discovers a signal from outer space and then joins a worldwide project to decipher this alien mysterious signal that came from outer space. And it's such a good movie. And she has this built-in trauma with, having lost her dad at a young age that plays an important role into the movie. Matthew McConaughey is playing is he a priest or a reverend, a religious man?
Yeah, he's a religious guy.
Yeah. And he's sort of
probably
ahead,
a pastor of some type.
Yeah, pastor. Yeah, he's not a priest, that's for sure. And he and Jodie Foster having these theological versus science discussions. And it all culminates in a very feel-good ending where it's emotional, but it leaves you feeling better than when you enter the theater. So after seeing Project Hail Mary, my wife and I are like, I think Galen can see Contact now. I think we're ready for that one to be next. And I'm so excited. I haven't seen Contact in such a long time. So
awesome.
I'm very excited to watch that again. Yeah.
Cool. My number 1 favorite quote unquote feel good sci-fi movie is from 1985, the aforementioned Back to the Future. The first one, such a fun adventure movie that has science like woven into it here and there, at least for the basic premise of it. A bunch of it's pseudoscience, like the whole like disappearing on the photograph and stuff like that. But the backbone of the movie is very sciencey, and it's a fun adventure movie where everything generally resolves cleanly and in a happy way. Pretty much most of the characters get what they want, and this movie is just kind of like effortlessly funny. Like we were debating whether it's comedy first or whether it's, I wouldn't even say it's drama first, probably sci-fi first and then comedy right behind that. But the comedy is so earned just by the script itself, not necessarily telling jokes or visual gags. It's more just being very clever about situations and how people are reacting to those situations. And it just makes the whole thing charming and in the end feel good. My number 1.
Nice. Love it. My number 1 is the aforementioned Contact.
Yeah.
Love this movie. I think of all the movies we talked about, it shares the most connective tissue with Project Hail Mary. It's one person that's being asked to do things that they're not ready to do, that the world is counting on them There's even some very specific plot elements that are shared with Contact. in Project Goodman.
100%.
Yeah, sure. And Contact is a movie that I absolutely love, and just because it has a sense of like wonder to it, that like wow, this is possible. Like the we're less limited than we think we are, kind of a thing. Like it just has that excitement that I think goes with a feel good sci-fi movie, and yeah, it's uplifting and positive and so well done. I'm excited for you to rewatch it, Kyle.
I'm so excited to watch it again.
That's another one where the book is also very good.
Oh, it's Carl Sagan, right?
Yeah, Carl Sagan wrote it.
Okay, I want to read that.
I need to rewatch it as well. Like, you talk up this movie for like the last 11 years. I'm way overdue for a rewatch because I really have I don't have a problem with Contact, but I don't have any real love for it. But clearly I need to rewatch it to decide.
You're going to finish that movie and you're going to wish that you were a poet when trying to write that Letterboxd review.
Yeah.
Okay.
James is a poet.
I know.
I don't even know it.
They should have sent a poet. They didn't even know it.
Yep.
Terrible line. All right. My number one is the aforementioned E.T. I love this movie. It takes, like many people, it takes me on an emotional roller coaster. But in the end, you're still crying, but you're having happy, positive crying. It leaves you feeling better than especially where it takes you in this movie. It's a beautiful story about there's a boy and an alien, and they become friends, and they form this inseparable bond that nearly destroys them. But thank God they don't get destroyed, because that would have been a downer of a movie. So
That would have been a big downer.
Really big downer. Yeah,
Had it ended like that.
I love E.T. I have to space out my watchings of it because it just every time I'm done after I watch that movie.
Nice.
Wait, you're done after you watch that movie?
He's done. Like,
I'm emotionally drained after watching that movie.
Okay, not like you're
Yes.
finished watching it as soon as you're done watching the movie.
No. I finish watching it. I'm emotionally drained, and then I just have to go to bed. Or
Okay.
yeah.
But you're
It's
also
just-
done when you've watched it. Just
Also,
general,
yes.
right?
When I finish a movie, I'm also done with it too. Correct.
okay, specifically
Yes.
that one. Okay.
Yes.
You're not denying that.
No. Yes. When I finish something, it is now done.
Speaking of
Braggy
done, that was the end of our top 10 feel good sci-fi movies list. Hopefully you enjoyed that. If you didn't, I don't know what to tell you. That's as feel good as we get on this podcast, I would say. Have we ever done like a top 10 positive movies? Something like that? I don't think we've ever done a list where we're like trying to focus on something specifically positive. We've certainly talked about movies that have positives in them, but I don't remember us forming a list around it or anything like that.
Right, because we've definitely done like corporations and dystopian and post-apocalyptic, and that all goes on the darker side usually.
Right.
So, yeah.
There's definitely not as many feel-good sci-fi movies, but I'm glad we didn't inject too many comedies, because I do think there's a list to be had, maybe with Spaceballs 2, of straight sci-fi comedies.
Yeah,
I think that would be an interesting
I'd make that list 100%.
Yeah, definitely. Well, thank you for joining us for this episode 721 of the Cinereelists. We appreciate your listenership. Don't forget, there's a video version of this podcast on YouTube. Go check it out. Support us on Patreon, patreon.com/Cinereelists. Leave us an Apple Podcast review, or send us an email to heyguys@cinereelists.com. Links are in the description to do any and all of those things. You could also follow us on social media on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, or TikTok at Cinereelists, or you could follow me on my personal Blue Sky or Letterboxd account at YoJRB.
You can follow me on Twitter or Letterboxd at Chauvin.
You can find me on Letterboxd at Peter SKB.
Next week, Kyle is out. We're going to miss him for a week or two here. He's got something to take care of. Are you being real private with that, or do you not care?
I mean, I don't think the listeners need to know.
Okay. Well, then they won't.
It's nothing major. I'm fine, everyone. Don't worry.
Kyle's fine. He just needs a few weeks off, and we're granting it.
Exactly. Yeah.
But next week, Zach and I will be back old school Cinereelist style with The Plague and probably a list to go along with it, I imagine. So if you need some homework to do, go check out The Plague, which is on VOD right now on the internet. But before we go, I think we need to do one more thing, and that's I have a confession to make. I'm in my kitchen.
Oh, okay. So James, I was wondering because half of your mic arm disappeared.
It 100% does.
There it is. Okay.
I was not able to fix it in time. Did I fool you guys?
I
No.
You knew? And you just
because
never said anything?
Your mic arm.
No. I'm talking about before I revealed it. Did you have any guess?
No,
Did you have any inkling that I wasn't in my Blu-ray room? In my
I assumed that mic arm was a Zoom artifact. Like it was, however, I didn't think too much about it. Like, oh, Zoom. No, you fooled me. I thought the mic arm was just something Zoom was doing, and I moved on from it. So yes, I was fooled.
Zach, come on. You got to give it. You got to give it if it's there. Did I fool you?
I probably fooled me.
Okay.
Like now I see your outline. Like now that I'm looking for it, no, like I can see like the fuzzy outline on your shoulders and
oh yeah.
Yeah, like if I was examining the video, I could be like, oh yeah, that's not blue screen,
sure,
whatever. But
if you went full screen on me right now, you would see a green tint all the way around me.
Let's see, can I go full?
I'm probably too small for you to really notice it in the little zoom window, but this would not be acceptable in full screen video.
Yeah.
For sure.
But no, I was fooled. You fooled me.
Which, Zach, I need your help trying to get rid of this green line around me.
Oh, you need a backlight.
Oh, is that the issue?
Yep.
To get rid of the spill?
Yep, you need a rim light.
All right. I'll have to
which is not hard to do.
Can I just throw it on the ground next to the bottom of the green
You
screen?
should throw it on the ground. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. All right. I'll give that a shot. And that is officially the end of the podcast. Thanks for joining us.
Actually, guys, I have I have a confession also.
Okay.
I'm not in my basement. I'm in San Francisco.
Nice.
Yeah.
Me too. No, I can't do it that fast.
Whoa, now I'm in space.
None of this is going to be on the here's the thing, James, is will any of this be on the YouTube channel because you're doing this?
Oh yeah, I did this through OBS.
Oh, okay. Mine won't be
Kyle's
out there.
not.
Mine won't be out there. No, so
it's fine. It's fine. It's all good. Yeah. See you guys next time. Goodbye.
Yep. See you guys.
You're still here? It's over. Go home. Go.